Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Buried Stars. So, we found Hyesung, notably not dead this time. So, let's see what happens. Let's call the people standing right in front of our face first.
누나, 안 들려요?
Jiyoung, can't you hear me?
도윤아, 왜?
Yeah, Doyoon, I hear you.
상태 보는 중이었어.
I was checking up on Hyesung.
숨은 계속 쉬고 있는데
He's
태어날
breathing,
기미는 없는 것 같아.
but unconscious.
구조대 올 때까지 괜찮아야 할 텐데.
I hope he's okay until the rescue team arrives.
갑자기 상태가 나빠지진 않는지 계속 지켜봐야겠어.
We'll just have to keep checking up on him.
지금 우리가 할 수 있는 건 그것뿐이니까.
For now, that's the only thing we can do. Oh yeah, there's stuff on Fatter.
대체
Hyesung, just what happened?
있잖아.
Let's just try to roughly determine when it happened.
어?
To me, what do you want to know? I already told you I didn't even get to see him.
설마
Are you implying that
아니야.
anyone might look suspicious if we discuss every little thing? If we go over it, we would feel less anxious. Ina braced herself with both arms. I know you mean well, but what is it that you want to hear? Corridor or dressing room, nobody was there.
그땐
You were with Sale when you came back, right? Can you tell me what happened?
그게
Well, I went to see Hyesung when Yu Hyuk came back, but the dressing room was empty, so I also stopped by at the staff corridor. No one was there, so I came back out and Sale was there.
그래서
So did you guys come out right away? What do you expect? Shake hands with each other? That's
그게
not what I mean. I'm wondering if you surveyed the area anymore. I was nervous. There was no one. I've gone all the way inside. Are we done? That was it.
잠깐.
Come to think of it, one thing comes to mind.
그런
Are you saying there's someone out there hostile enough to attack us? I can't say it for certain, but Ian had tilted her head a few times.
그게
It was well known that Hyesung and I were on bad terms with each other. Are you talking about the show? That and in real life as well. That's why the stalker was gnashing his teeth at Hyesung, talking about how rude he is and how we will get rid of him. And you as well.
그럴까?
Me? Because you and I often appeared on the show together? Like there's something between us.
맞았어.
Exactly, I guess he was uncomfortable with that. Although it was totally different from reality. He said you were next after Hyesung, which means it could be him.
혹시
Hey, if this is about me,
아니야.
the stalker getting angry by himself has nothing to do with you. That's true, but we'll keep that stalker thing in mind. Yeah, I think we should. He was very unpredictable.
맞았어.
S_underscore Singyun's threat was true as predicted. You saw what happened to Hyesung at 2 a.m. S_underscore Singyun could be hiding somewhere around here.
그땐
Do you think we can trust the post as is? Why are you acting all careful all of a sudden?
야,
Just cut to the chase and tell me, do you think their forewarning came true?
맞아.
Everything else aside, it is clear that he was attacked by someone. That is at the predicted time.
하지만
He's not dead, but he's not fine either.
확실하지
We're
않아.
not even sure if he can make it out if you're alive. We can't just regard it as pure coincidence. Terrible things already happen and we can't deny that.
혹시나
You're not suspecting me, are you?
나는
I'm just trying to figure out when Hyesung was attacked.
네?
How am I supposed to help you with that? Tell me what happened when you went to the dressing room. Seo hesitantly opened his mouth.
그게요.
When the place shook, I followed Inha to the back of the stage. I went in because the dressing room door was open, but nobody was there.
그렇다는 건
Are you saying you didn't see anyone on the way to the dressing room?
네.
Right, I'm sure of it. Anyways, I stayed there for a moment because I was confused.
그리고
When I went back to the corridor, Inha came out from the staff corridor. She said she was looking for Hyesung because he wasn't in the dressing room. It looked dangerous to stay there, so I told her we should head back to the stage.
혹시
Stage tremor. When did that happen? It was right after I asked you if there wasn't anything else on Fatter.
왜요?
What time was it? I think it was around 1:45 a.m.
맞아요.
Yeah, Hyesung wrote the post at around 1:40 a.m. and Inha left. I waited for a moment after that, so it should match. It took about 10 minutes for me to come back with Inha after stopping by at the dressing room. Hyesung was discovered at around 2 a.m. That means time matches.
말하자면
There are many other possibilities. Besides that, who here would do that to Hyesung? Why beat him half to death? Why?
맞아.
In a sense, yeah.
그 말은
It must have been done by somebody else. My gut feeling tells me S_Seungyeon is the one. Yes, S_Seungyeon could be more than one person. Their accomplice could be hiding somewhere in here.
대체
Why would S_Seungyeon do such a thing?
그거야.
So many people held a grudge against Hyesung. If I had to make a guess, the school violence victim immediately comes to mind. He asked why Hyesung was still on the show even after the exposure.
그래도
But Hyesung wasn't the only person S_Seungyeon attacked.
그렇다는 건
Then we could widen the scope to someone who might be holding a grudge against one of the survivors. What about you? Anyone comes to mind immediately?
혹시
What about the beloved staff? They must have suffered a loss during the incident, and S_Seungyeon also mentioned Ju Young.
그거야.
He mentioned something that wasn't familiar to the public. Yeah, about her working as a barista.
사실은
To be honest, some even asserted that Ju Young should never be allowed back in show business. That she not only disbanded the group, but also the entire company. That's excessive. It's not my opinion. One of the beloved staff said it.
그리고
Speaking of the former staff, your band vocalist could be the one with a grudge.
그래도
But he wasn't hostile enough to attack me or threaten me.
그치만
Really, to me, he seemed hostile enough. The things he said on Fatter was almost abusive.
도윤이 형
Though you were too naive about what others might be thinking about you. Point is, it's just a matter of how you see it.
도윤이 형
Tell me exactly what S_Seungyeon said.
그게
They uploaded the post at 2 a.m. to say that they eliminated Hyesung. What were their exact words?
그랬어.
That they cut his throat. Sorry to say this, but
아닌 것 같아.
Hyesung was hit on the back of his head, so S_Seungyeon wasn't exactly right. I guess you can say that. Well, just because they wrote the post doesn't mean they're the attacker. What's important is that we don't doubt those of us in here.
혹시나
Was there anything else?
그건
They asked why the survivors are keeping quiet. They want to know if something happened since Hyesung went quiet.
네
We should just stay quiet. We shouldn't have responded to their Fatter post in the first place. It happened already. What can we do?
아시겠어요?
We should ignore them from now on, at least. It will be over if we just stay together and wait for the rescue team to arrive. The attacker is surely someone from outside the collapse site, so we shouldn't stress. We just need to hang in there until we're out of here.
안 되는데.
I never thought Hyesung would be...
대체
I thought it was dangerous, but this is... We could have stopped him from going there if we tried harder. Ju-young, nobody could have predicted this situation. Ju-young raised her head after catching her breath.
도윤아,
Do-yoon, when Hyesung was in the dressing room, you were on the stage with Yu-hyuk, right?
네.
Yeah, I told Yu-hyuk that we should bring Hyesung back. But then you suddenly disappeared. It was the hyperventilation. It came all too sudden.
그게
Couldn't you just stay in one place? I was really taken aback.
어,
It's easier to calm myself down when I'm alone. I'm not myself when it gets really bad. Well, it's my fault for letting you out of my sight.
그건
I'm sorry to have
그렇지만-
worried you. Ju-young patted Do-yoon on the shoulder.
그때
I was at the empty lot in front of the door near the stage that leads to the central corridor. I was trying to calm myself down while catching my breath. The door opened when I was getting a little better. In Han Sale came out, right?
맞아.
Yeah, I was so surprised back then. That's how the three came back to the stage.
글쎄,
Someone from out there who might have attacked Hyesung. Forget whether it's possible or not. Do you even think someone like that exists? Let's not be so quick to judge. It's not our job to identify the suspect or attacker.
글쎄요.
I wonder what kind of grudge you have to hold to do that to
내
someone.
생각엔
Men and melons are hard to know. I'm not trying to side with the attacker, but
네.
I know what you mean. Still, I don't understand. How could they do that to someone just because the circumstances allowed them to?
아니야.
Not everyone can do that. Do-yoon, don't think too deeply. It's dangerous.
그러고 보니
The timing matched when we found him. We saw Hyesung at 2 a.m., which was the time forewarned by S_Syngyeon.
맞아요.
Like they had done it. It's only natural to think that way. Last place in the ranking dies at 2 a.m.
너는
What do you think about S_Syngyeon's forewarning?
아니요.
I wouldn't call it a forewarning. Hyesung was last place in the ranking, but he didn't die.
맞아.
You're right, it can't be a forewarning because Hyesung's still alive. S_Syngyeon just said something randomly and what happened was just a coincidence.
그래도
Although we can't ignore them completely. Hyesung will tell us something after he recovers. We'd better keep checking on him.
나도야.
Please do, I will also keep an eye. Nothing alters the fact that we must get out of here safely.
그런 거면
Shall we go over what we did during Hyesung's incident?
그때
When did it happen?
그게
We saw Hyesung's post at around 1:40 a.m. Inha went to see Hyesung after reading it. Until they came back, you and I were on the stage. Ju-young disappeared once in the meantime. Come to think of it, the two of us were the only ones who had never left the stage by then. In other words, you're the only one who can testify that I was on the stage. And you're the only one who can vouch for me, right?
그래.
Yeah, we don't know how
그럼-
things might turn out. They can argue that we've conspired to fabricate the story.
그러면
People might suspect you, though. They are going to think that you would lie for me. But I'd be willing to do that for you. If not, forget it.
맞아.
Well, I think I could have done it for you. You didn't do anything. I'll testify to anything for you. Thanks for saying that. Yu-hyuk put on an awkward smile. In real life, we should hope that kind of situation would never happen.
괜찮아.
It's going to be okay. It has to be.
그래.
Yeah, let's not think too deeply. What I know is that we were both on the stage when it happened. For us, that's the only truth.
글쎄.
Someone from out there.
혹시
Something that comes to mind?
아나
Must be very strong dissatisfaction to attack someone. Hyesung has as many fans as he has haters. To think they're just one of the haters seems limiting.
만약에
Blackmail. What about the blackmailer? It came out after a while that Sun Yun had received some blackmail. It's certainly possible.
그치만
But with dissatisfaction that the show leads to murderous intent?
그건
You have a point. It's one thing to hate the show, but quite another to actually attack someone. Gyu-hyuk briefly fell silent.
도윤아
Do-yoon, have you ever hated someone so bad that you wanted to kill that person? No, but it's possible. Although I can't imagine what it feels like to hate someone so bad you'd want to kill that person.
결국
They were spurred into action, which means they held a deep-seated grudge or impulsive enough to put their thoughts into action. I'm also impulsive, but everyone has that trait.
그렇지?
Right, but not everyone does that.
그럴 거야.
Of course not. I'll tell you if anything else comes to mind.
역시
That is horrible.
그래
As underscore Singha mentioned elimination of the show or something in the beginning, then their expression got more aggressive over the course of time. That they would cut his throat. Gyu-hyuk fell silent for some time.
아니었어.
It is a bit different in reality since Hyesung's neck is okay. Although S underscore Singyeon kept running their mouth regardless.
어쨌든
The concept is to continue with the audition. As for the post they have been uploading...
그랬어.
They blamed those who didn't vote. Said it was our fault that Hyesung got eliminated.
그래.
Yeah, I clearly remember that. Will be eliminated if out of the ranking. It is the basic concept of B-stars and also the concept utilized by S underscore Singyeon.
뭐랄까?
If that's so, comparison can also be regarded as a literary expression. Literary expression.
솔직히
Hyesung's neck wasn't injured as S underscore Singyeon had predicted.
다시 말해서
Are you saying that S underscore Singyeon tried to hurt Hyesung so that he won't be able to sing anymore? That's how S underscore Singyeon wrote it. So S underscore Singyeon is the attacker. That is, if we're to consider all possibilities. They can't just pull away because the situation is different. Everyone let out a deep sigh.
이럴 거면
I'll bet my
난
money on S
S
underscore
승연을
Singyeon.
그럼 출입구 같은 게 있었어야 하는데
Then there must be an entrance.
그런 게 있었으면
We would have already
우리도
escaped had there
발견했을
been
거야.
one.
아예 처음부터 붕괴 현장 안에 있었다면요?
What if the attacker has been here all along throughout the accident?
그래. 그것도 일리 있는데
Right, that's very probable.
여기 돌아가는 상황도 나름 빠삭하게 알던 것 같고
S underscore Singyeon acted like they knew everything about our situation.
어쨌든 우리 아니면 제3자 지실 수밖에 없죠.
Well, it's either us or someone else. They began to grow restless at all the different theories. Hyesung was seriously injured. If the tension ramped up any higher, things would easily get out of control. Do-yoon tried to clear his mind.
S 승연이 짜놓은 판이라는 게 진짜 가능할까?
Do you think it's really possible that S underscore Singyeon set up the whole thing?
2시에 한다고 말했지. 그리고 정말 2시에 했어.
S underscore Singyeon said it would happen at 2 a.m. and it happened at the specific time.
다 아는 것처럼 말하고 그게 맞아 들어갔다고. 아니야?
S underscore Singyeon threatened as if they knew everything about our situation and it somehow happened. Am I wrong?
맞아 들어갔다라.
Somehow happened.
뭔가 걸리는 점이 있어?
Something's bothering you.
혼자 갸웃거리지 말고 말 좀 해주세요.
Stop tilting your head, just tell us.
그럼 네 생각을 말해줘 볼래?
Then speak your mind. Of course he was going to. Do-yoon decided to point out the incongruity from their conversation.
S 승연은 정해진 시간에 혜성이를 죽일 것처럼 말했어.
S underscore Singyeon threatened to kill Hyesung at a specific time.
하지만 우린 살아있는 혜성이를 발견했지.
But we discovered Hyesung alive at that time.
살아있긴 했잖아.
Well, half alive.
이나야,
Inha,
짚은 거야,
I
그냥.
was just pointing out,
중태로 발견되긴 했지.
but Hyesung barely survived.
요는 S 승연이 한 예고 내지는 그 비슷한 선언은 틀렸다는 거야.
My point is that S_Singyun's starter prediction turned out to be wrong.
S 승연이 예고한 시간은 2시였어.
S_Singyun said it would happen at 2 a.m.
우리는 그쯤
At
화장실에 있는
around 2
혜성이를
a.m.,
발견했지.
we found Hyesung in the restroom.
어떻게 시간을 맞췄을까요?
How did S_Singyun get the time right?
맞췄다고 할 수 있을까?
Did they really get it right though?
S 승연이 한 예고는
S_Singyun warned
2시에
that the
하겠다는
murder would
거였어.
happen at 2 a.m.
그때 우린 벌어진 상황을 봤지.
But by that time, Hyesung had already been ambushed.
맞아. 실제 사건은 더 빨리 일어났던 거네.
The actual attack happened earlier than that.
결국 무슨 뜻이야? 우연의 일치라고?
What are you saying? It was just coincidence?
그렇게 뭉뚱그리기는 무리일지도 몰라.
I don't think you should be vague about that.
그렇지만
But things
딱
didn't happen
예고대로 맞아
exactly as
떨어졌다고 할 순 없어.
S_Singyun had said.
S 승연은 목을 땄니 어쩌니 떠들었었지.
S_Singyun said they would cut Hyesung's throat or something.
그렇지만 혜성이는
Hyesung was struck by a
화장실에
mop
있던
shaft in the
대걸레자루로
restroom.
공격당했어.
대충 눈에 띄는 걸로 급하게 휘두른 느낌인데
It looked like the attacker picked up whatever was in their range.
그나마도 내던져 놓은 상태였던 것 같아.
And they even left it on the floor and took off.
우발적이었고 급박하게 한 일이다?
Which means it was done impulsively and the attacker was in a hurry.
맞아.
Yes.
시간까지 찍어서 예고한 일로는 안 보여.
It didn't appear to be a precisely timed attack.
결국 S 승연이 한 예고라는 건 안 맞는 곳 투성이에요.
After all, S_Singyun's murder threat was full of holes.
과도하게 의미를 부여하고 있는 건지도 모른다고요.
Maybe we've been imposing too much meaning onto it.
그렇다고 치면 누가 저랬단 건지가 문제잖아.
Then the problem is who the attacker is.
진짜 S 승연이 아닌 거면
If it wasn't S_Singyun,
다른 외부인이거나 아니면
it could be someone else from out there, or it was obvious as to what would follow. Do-yoon recalled the moment of Hyesung's breakaway from them, from when he entered the dressing room to when he was discovered seriously injured in the restroom. It was clear that Hyesung was attacked during that time period.
내부인 중에서 습격이 가능했던 사람은
If one of us did it, the only person who would have been able to attack Hyesung was...
이나는
Inha.
규혁이 형이 온 다음 혼자 혜성이한테 갔었어.
She went to see Hyesung by herself after Gyu-hyuk had come back.
분장실이 비어있길래 스텝 복도로도 가봤다고.
She also went to the staff quarter after finding out the dressing room was empty.
거기도 빈 걸 보고 나와서 세일이를 만나 같이 돌아왔다고 했어.
Okay, that's a bit of weird wording. Not finding Sale. I'm pretty sure he meant Hyesung there in the staff quarter. She came out there and she met Sale. Then they came back together. But nobody would know even if she met Hyesung before going to the staff corridor.
세일이는
And Sale,
혼자 떠난 이나보다
he went to the dressing room a bit after Inha had left.
혜성이도 이나도 없어서 잠시 기다렸다고 했지.
But seeing neither Hyesung nor Inha there, he waited there for a bit.
그러다 복도로 나와 이나를 만났고 같이 돌아왔다고 말했어.
Afterwards, he came out and met Inha in the corridor and they came back together. But who knew if he'd met Hyesung before encountering Inha?
이렇게 두 사람이야.
These two people. Would it be wise to bring up this topic at this moment? It was just about the possibility, not necessarily pegging either of them as the attacker. Do-yoon decided to put a twist to the question.
이나야, 세일아,
Inha, Sale.
혜성이한테 갔을 때 또 특별한 건 없었어?
When you went to see Hyesung, did you find anything else not ordinary?
특별한 거?
Strange?
가서 본 건 다 얘기했는데
I told you everything I'd seen.
잠깐만.
Wait. Inha took big strides towards Do-yoon.
왜 우리 둘한테 물어?
Why are you only asking the two of us?
뭔가 수상쩍다. 그런 거야?
You're suspicious of us, huh?
수상쩍은 것까진 아니지만
Not suspicious,
너랑
but
세일이 두 사람 행적이 불명확한 건 사실이야.
it's just that only the two of you can't seem to clearly prove your whereabouts.
와, 돌직구 던지네.
Wow, that was very direct.
애매한 데가 있단 건 나름대로 인정.
I admit that our stories could look somewhat murky. Surprisingly, Inha gave in.
그런데 아니야.
But come on.
말싸움 좀 했고 사이 좀 나빴다고 저런 짓을 하냐?
Just because we didn't get along well doesn't mean I would hurt him.
저도 그렇죠. 구조까지 버티기도 빡세잖아요.
Same here, and I'm barely keeping myself together just to make it out of here.
가만히 냅둬도 자폭했을 텐데.
He would have destroyed himself anyway. Sale soared the last word of his sentence, glancing at Hyesung. The conversation only led to greater uncertainty.
어떻게 돌아가는 거야 진짜?
What's really going on?
S 승연은 지금 중요한 게 아니야.
S_Seungyeon is not our priority right now.
중상자가 나왔어. 희생자로 만들 순 없어.
We have a seriously injured person on our hands. We can't let him fall victim to this incident.
지금은 그게 제일 중요해.
That's the most important thing right now. Her face was pale, but her eyes showed resolve.
진상은 혜성이가 깨어나면 알 수 있겠지.
We'll know the truth when Hyesung wakes up.
깨어날 수 있을까?
Do you think he'll even wake up?
그건
That? Do-yoon stared at Hyesung, who was lying face up on the floor. Pale face, blue lips.
이겨낼 거야. 분명히.
He'll win this fight for sure. Do-yoon quietly nodded as he recalled his past conversation with Hyesung.
범인은 외부인으로 놓고 있는 게 낫겠어요.
We'd better assume that the attacker is amongst our group.
외부인이 저럴 수 있으면 우리라고 안전하겠냐?
If someone out there can do this, we are not safe either.
그거야. 뭉쳐 있으면 별 수 있겠어요?
They can't do anything if we stick together. He wasn't wrong. Hyesung's mistake had been going it alone.
그래.
Yes,
뭉쳐 있으면 안전할 거야.
we should be safe as long as we're together. They stayed together for some time. The group checked up on Hyesung's condition and chatted with one another. They completely ignored S_Seungyun's provocation. They were busy dealing with the injured, thus paying no attention to the outside world. Time passed without much happening. Ju-young suddenly checked her watch.
구조대 연락 같아.
It's a call from the rescue team.
이제 전화 되는 건가?
Do you have a signal?
얘기해 볼게.
Let me talk to them. Ju-young put out the palm of her hand and continued to talk. Ju-young explained Hyesung's condition again. She also told them about their situation.
여기까지야.
This is it.
여기로 온다니 계기고 있는 게 무조건 좋겠네요.
The rescue team is on their way here, so we'd better stay put.
오면서 생기는 진동 때문에 추가 붕괴가 날 수도 있댔어.
They said there could be additional collapses as they forced their way in.
여태 지진처럼 온 그거겠지?
They've already caused several tremors so far.
그래. 아마도.
Yeah, I guess. Ju-young tried to catch her breath.
주의. 잘 살피는 수밖에 없어.
We just need to pay closer attention to our surroundings.
철거 현장에 갇힌 꼴이네.
It's like we're stuck in a demolition site.
그럼 퇴거 명령서 같은 종이 쪼가리라도 받겠지.
Yeah, but no stay away warning letter in this case. Something flashed through Do-yoon's mind after hearing it.
그러고 보니까 그거 말이야.
By the way, you remember that?
그게 뭔데?
Remember what?
협박장. 신 PD님이 받았었다고 한 거.
The blackmail that Seungyeon had received.
정확하게 무슨
What
내용이었어?
was it about exactly? Seo's eyes widened behind his glasses.
갑자기 협박장이 왜요?
What is your interest in it all of a sudden?
혜성이 뒤에서 머리를 맞았어.
Hyesung was hit on the back of his head.
우리 중에 그걸로 이득 볼 사람 없다는 건 다 나왔고
We've concluded that none of us had a grudge against Hyesung.
협박자라든지 다른 원한 가질 만한 사람은 없나 해서.
I just want to know who might have had a grudge against him.
협박자는 PD님이 받은 거지. 혜성이한테 간 게 아니잖아.
But the blackmail was for Seungyeon, not for Hyesung.
뭐든 한 번은 생각해보자는 뜻이야?
Are you suggesting we should go over every possibility? Seo came forward, scratching his head.
그거 뭐 대단한 건 아니었어요.
It wasn't anything special.
그럼 뭔지 얘기할 수도 있겠네.
Then you can tell us about it.
이거랑 상관없는 것 같은데.
I don't think it's relevant. I don't like the way you're smirking. Sale hesitated and looked around.
어떤 내용이었는데?
What was it about?
그게
It basically said
오디션 공정하게 해라. 그런 내용 같았어요.
the audition must be fair, something like that.
같았다는 건 무슨 뜻이야?
What do you mean by something like that? That's
내용 봤다며. 무대 직전이면 얼마 안 됐잖아.
you said you'd seen it. If it was really right before today, it's not that long ago.
그래.
Oh yes.
탑9에서 떨어진 귤 씨요. 강귤 씨.
Remember Q.E. Kang? Remember Q.E. Kang? That guy who was eliminated from the top 9?
그때 말 많았잖아요. 공정하니 많이 하면서.
Many people complained about the fairness of the audition.
그거면 페이터에서 떠드는 얘기만도 못한데?
That is nothing unusual. An old issue even on fatter.
죽여버린다 어쩐다 했으니까 협박장 내용으로는 맞죠.
It mentioned something about murdering someone which suits the blackmail.
역시 들어보니까 별 상관 없었죠.
I told you it wasn't relevant.
협박장이라고 하기도 무색한 내용이네.
A trivial complaint. Can't even call it blackmail.
정말로 그런 내용이었어?
Are you sure that was all?
네? 아니면 뭔데요?
What else can there be? Do-yoon recalled the moment when they had found Sung-yeon's body. Seo mentioned about the blackmail at that time but never went in detail. He had felt it wasn't something trivial at that time. Seo had said quite gravely at the time, but now he was saying like it was something trivial. Was he telling the truth? His thoughts began to branch out.
역시 여기 대볼 내용은 아니야.
It seems to
왜
be...
무게를 잡아서
Okay, I missed that. Well, it seems to be something irrelevant. Why was your reaction so serious then? Gyu Hyuk was remaining silent, looking at Sale. Do-yoon passed by the rest of the group and stood next to Gyu Hyuk.
형, 왜 그러고 있어?
Gyu Hyuk, what's wrong?
도윤아, 그게
Do-yoon,
잠깐! 뉴스 떴어!
Look, here's a news flash. Heavily injured person discovered, Hyesung-sa. I saw the news, but no one actually died, lol. If he is heavily injured, something must be happening here, but I'm glad no one died. There is no evidence that S_Sungyeon is in the building. We need to figure out the de facto power behind this. It's not surprising everyone ignore any comments by S_Sungyeon. I'll block anyone who share its comment. Even if S_Sungyeon is not there, it seemed to have a grudge against the show, but that doesn't mean we have to close our eyes. We won't let it slide this time. Hyesung was injured. But what's worse, blackmailing wounded people left in extreme condition is no different from an attempted murder.
단독 기사야.
It's exclusive news.
현장에 뻗치던 기자가 캐낸 모양이네요.
It must have been written by a reporter who was camping near the site of the collapse.
시간 문제긴 했어요.
It was only a matter of time.
도윤아, 아까 얘기
Do-yoon, what we talked about earlier. Do-yoon raised his head to listen to Gyu Hyuk.
좀 이상해.
Something's not right
세일이
about the
협박증에
blackmail.
대해서 거짓말을 하고 있어.
Sale's lying.
뭐?
What? Gyu Hyuk lowered his voice.
사실은 나도 협박증을
Actually,
봤어.
I saw the blackmail too.
어떻게?
How?
신 PD님이 직접 보여줬어.
Sung-yeon showed it to me.
그걸 내가 보냈다고 생각해.
Because she thought I was the one who had sent it.
협박증에
The
탑
blackmail
나인 얘기는
mentioned
있지도 않았어.
nothing about the top 9.
그럼 무슨 내용이었던 건데?
Then what was it about? Gyu Hyuk stared directly at Sale.
그건
It was
신
about the relationship between Sung-yeon and Hyesung. Oh.
연출자랑 출연자 이상의 관계라는 걸 다 알고 있다면서.
The blackmail claimed that he had already known about their secret relationship. Do-yoon raised his head to interrupt Gyu Hyuk, or his hand, not his head.
형, 잠깐.
Gyu Hyuk, wait.
PD님은 왜 그걸 형이 보냈다고 생각한?
Why did Seungyeon think you had sent it to her?
PD님
Seungyeon?
나한테 비슷한 제안을 했던
Because
적이
she'd made a similar offer to me before.
그래서
I guess that's why she thought it was me. Do-yoon fell silent for a moment.
세일이는 왜 협박장 내용을 다르게 얘기한 거지?
Then why did Sale lie about the messages of the blackmail?
본 적이 없는
He
겁니다.
could have just said he knew
아니,
nothing
모른다고
about it
해도
if he had
될 텐데.
never read it.
직접 물어보면
What do you think he'll say if we ask him directly?
글쎄,
Well, I have no idea.
그래서
We are gonna leave him alone for now. Feeling confused, though Yoon kept his mouth shut. Just then, Yu Hyuk took a step forward.
세일아, 마음에 걸리는 게 있어.
Sale, there's something I want to ask you about.
네? 뭐가요?
Huh? About what?
협박장 내용에 대한 거.
About the blackmail.
갑자기 내용이 뭐 도윤이 형, 규혁이 형 왜 저래요?
What about it? Do-yoon, what's wrong with Yu Hyuk?
형 말하려고?
Yu Hyuk, are you going to say it?
협박장 내용. 네 말하고는 다르잖아.
The content of the blackmail, it's different from what you've said.
어이가 진짜 어이가 없네.
This must be a joke, right?
협박장 보기라도 하셨어요?
You talk like you've read it. Yu Hyuk briefly stared at Hyesung.
혜성이하고 PD님 관계에 대한 내용이었어.
It was about Hyesung and Seungyeon's relationship. Everyone's jaws dropped. Sale's face turned completely pale.
그거
No, it wasn't.
아닌데요.
Anyone could tell. Sale was not being honest with what was written in the blackmail.
갑자기 저한테 왜 그러세요?
What's the matter with you?
제가 뭐 서혜성을 어떻게 하기라도 했단 거예요?
Do you think I attacked Hyesung?
혜성이 일하곤 별개야.
It's got nothing to do with Hyesung.
협박장에 대해.
I'm asking about the blackmail.
그거야 다르게 기억할 수도 있죠.
Well, I simply remembered it wrong.
이런 상황에 잘못 떠올릴 수도 있는 거 아니에요?
With all the stress we've been under, I just misremembered, you know? Things were getting tense. Do-yoon gulped.
한도윤, 혹시 페이터 봤어?
Do-yoon, did you see Fatter? He turned his head towards the sound of the low voice.
얘기 돌아가는 게 좀 이상해.
There are some strange talks on it.
얘기?
Talking?
어떤 얘기?
About what?
이거 봐봐.
Look at this.
왜 세일이가 타깃이 됐어?
Why are people bashing Sale all of a sudden?
사망자 발표하고 생존자 명단이랑 사진.
They
다시
released the
나갔는데
names of the dead and survivors with photos.
문제는 그게 아니야.
But that's not the problem here. Oh, this is a stalker reveal.
더 있어.
There's more. Yep, this is the stalker reveal.
팬들이 찍어서 갖고 있던 사진들이래.
These are some photos taken by my fans.
그런데 왜 세일이가 계속
But why is Sale there in every one of them?
알고 있었어?
You knew about this?
당연히 몰랐으니까 말하지.
Why would I bring it up now if I already knew about it? Ina lowered her watch.
내 생각 말해봐.
Want to know what I think?
어떻게 생각하는데?
What do you think?
아무래도
I think I found him.
찾은 것 같다. 내 스토커. 편지 보내던 놈.
The stalker who's been sending letters to me. Inha walked towards Sale.
이나 씨,
Inha,
너 뭐야? 협박장만 구라가 아닌데?
what are you? You weren't only lying about the blackmail.
제가 뭐요?
What do you mean?
너지?
It's you, right?
네? 저 아니에요.
What? No, it's
제가
not me.
어떻게 서혜성을
I would never attack Hyesung.
그거 말고
No, not that.
내 스토커!
I meant the stalker! Seo's face turned pale. Seo gulped and took a step back.
갑자기 그게 왜 나와요?
What's that got to do with me?
이 마당의 스토커라뇨.
I'm suddenly your stalker?
그럼 이거 뭐야?
Explain this
보고
then. Look at the pictures. Ian had thrust her watch before Seo's face. Seo's face turned red after squinting at the screen.
이게 뭐지?
What is this? What is this? It's you in the photos.
저 사진 구석에
I'm
같이
in the far
걸렸을
corner
뿐이잖아요.
in the photo, so what?
이게 스토커라는 증거가 된다고
That
생각하세요?
doesn't mean I'm your stalker.
딴거뭐 다른 증거 있어요?
Do you have any other proof?
왜들 그래? 무슨 일이야?
What's going on, people?
페이터야. 얘가 지금 인기 급상승 중이거든.
It's on Fatter. Sale is the talk of the town now. Do you intervene between the two?
세일이 얘기도 한번 들어보자.
We should also hear Sale's explanation, shouldn't we?
들었잖아. 딴 증거 있냐고
You
뻗대는 거.
heard him. He's demanding more proof. In the meantime, the rest of the group checked out the Fatter post too. Ju Young lowered her watch and asked Sale with a confused look on her face.
세일아. 옛날에 베스타 참가했었단 얘긴
Sale,
뭐야?
what is this? Your previous competition in Beastars?
사진까지 올라왔어. 예전 시즌인 거야?
They even posted a photo. Is it from the previous season?
이나 사진은 지나가던
Photos
사람들이
of
막 찍은
Inha
거야.
were taken by random people.
저렇게 많은데 함께 나온 건 이상해.
Sale, it's weird that you showed up in every one of those photos.
그리고 협박장에 대한 것도
Plus, you lied about the blackmail.
도현이 형이라도 뭐라고 말 좀.
Though you knew were one of the most reasonable people here, say something!
잠깐. 이러다
Easy.
큰일 터지겠어.
Everyone, we need to blow off some steam.
분위기 조금만 가라앉히자.
Just calm down a bit. Though Yoon also had many questions to ask him, but he shouldn't push him into a corner any further.
정확한 걸 알고 싶으면 먼저 얘기를 들어보죠.
If we're to find out exactly what happened, we need to hear his side of the story.
뭐야? 편드는 것도 아니고
What, are you siding with him right now?
지금 이상한 점 한두 가지가 아닌
He's
거
completely
알잖아.
dubious right now.
저 말이 맞아. 과열되면 위험하다는 거.
I'm with Do-yoon, we need to blow off some steam.
그치만 세일아, 확실히 말해줘야 돼.
But Seo, you need to be clear about all of the issues.
페이터 사진 그리고 협박장 내용에 관한
About
거
the fatter photos and the contents of the blackmail.
제대로 얘기해주면 분위기도 바뀔
Our
거야.
view will change if you properly explain yourself. Seo adjusted his glasses. His eyes quivered behind the glasses.
그럼 하나씩 물어보세요.
Well, ask me
알고 싶은
then. One at a time.
근데 제 대답 만족스럽지 못하실 수도 있어요.
You might not be satisfied with my answers. Under the awkward atmosphere, Do-yoon began to bring up the suspicions.
세일이가 협박장 내용을 바꿔 말해서
What does Seo get by lying about the blackmail?
글쎄, 바꿔 말했다는 건 확실하지만
Well, he clearly lied about its message, but
뭘
what was he
숨기고
hiding?
있을까?
솔직히 말해줬으면 좋겠는데.
I hope he'll be honest with us.
평소답진 않아. 웬만하면 제대로 설명해 줬을 텐데.
Wasn't himself. Seo normally wouldn't hide such a thing.
본인이 엮인 일이기 때문일까?
Possibly because he's somehow involved.
대개는 스텝 입장에서 쇼 얘기를 하니까.
He was representing the staff after all.
뭐든 직접 듣기 전까진 모를 일이야.
Whatever it is, we won't know till we hear it from him.
결국은 그렇지.
Yeah, eventually he will get to know. I do love how we can literally talk on the phone to the people standing right in front of our face. And now they're saying that S. Seung-yeon might be Seo, which... Okay, well, we know because of the true ending that it's not. Oh yeah, this is when Seo crashed out in public after getting eliminated in Season 2.
정리하면
One blackmail letter and 2 people who saw it. Even if Yoo Hyuk told us the truth, isn't it awkward to call it blackmail?
어?
What do you mean? I'm a blackmail expert. Eaton had flashed her palm, though Yuna was rather spaced out.
그러니까
I'm talking about receiving it. There was no murder threat or anything like that. Indescribable hatred and curses are the common factors in blackmail. It must have been hard.
그래.
It certainly doesn't cheer you up.
어쨌든
Anyhow, that's my personal opinion. About the blackmail, we'll have to wait and see.
뭐야 진짜?
If it's all about coincidence, he could have been found even in my bedroom coincidentally, who knows? But he keeps attributing everything to coincidence.
말이 돼?
Oh, are you cool enough to accept that poor excuse? Eyes wide open, Ina bit her lip. You went too far. Excuse me, bitch, she did not.
당연하지.
It's common sense. Do I really have to spoon feed you with detailed explanations? Okay, yeah. Yeah, come on now. Let's at least ask when the photos were... Do you remember where and when the photos were taken? To hear right answers, we need to throw the right questions.
그래.
Fine, I'll tell you everything I know and remember.
생각해 볼게.
But even if I fail to recollect something, it doesn't change the truth. Inha looked into the photos on Fatter again.
그거는
The first photo was taken in Busan around my home. When was it taken?
그러니까
Just before joining the training camp after the preliminaries. We had time to pack our stuff. Yeah, we were given about a week.
그렇잖아.
Staff were busy preparing the training camp, so we had no reason to visit Busan at that time.
잠깐만.
Plus, I wrote the address of my dance crew studio as my home address while filling out the Beastars application form. Ina showed the another photo right after.
그건
The second one was taken near the training
맞아.
camp. Remember when we were given some free time during the training camp? I'm sure it was taken back then while I was out walking around.
아마도
Since he works on the show, he must have known my schedule. He used my information for that purpose. I knew there was something fishy. I'd better pick him clean.
왜 했을까?
Something wasn't answered, though. The difference in their power over the show is significantly big.
아무래도
Yeah, since one is a producer while the other is a mere contestant. The police will figure out the whole picture between the two of them eventually. Like how their relationships affected the result.
그건 그렇지만
What gained easily could be lost easily, but the real problem is not that.
내 생각엔
In this kind of unbalanced relationship, the relationship could be continued not out of one's willingness. Hyesung always gladly followed Seung-yeon, though.
문제는 그거야.
Maybe he wasn't perceiving the true nature of their relationship, not knowing whether he really wanted the relationship or he was being under control. Do-yoon took a step back and began to ponder.
그럴지도
Maybe. To be honest, I haven't thought that far.
그래.
That's understandable. Anyway, it seems too hasty to believe that Hyesung had been the sole beneficiary. That kind of relationship could be somewhat different from what it looks like from outside.
글쎄.
I haven't even seen the blackmail in the first place.
저기
I only briefly heard what it was about, but nothing more than that.
아직이야.
They're arguing who's right and wrong. I'll just have to wait and see. They will only exhaust themselves if they go at each other like that without any evidence. Do-yoon sighed weakly. We still have much time at hand.
그렇다고 해서
Then you should be more concerned with your physical health. I may not be the best person to say this, but remember that your body influences your mentality.
네.
Yes, I'll remember that. Where you know it, you would get sucked away if you aren't careful.
도대체
Wow, that's a thing from ancient times.
아무래도
You can find anything on the internet nowadays.
알아.
I didn't know anything about his interest in audition, but I knew he was very interested in music. According to what people say, it must be season 2.
그럼
That's a long time ago, isn't it?
그렇지.
Right, Seung-yeon was an assistant producer back then.
어?
How did you know that?
그건
I've been roughly monitoring the situations in this industry, even when I wasn't working.
그러면
Were you preparing to come back? You
아무래도
weren't ready to leave yet.
맞아.
Yes, my dream never changed. Exactly, I wasn't ready yet. I was at a dead end, but I still couldn't give up. Jeong opened her mouth as if they're fiddling with her side hair.
그럴까?
Maybe Sale and Seung-yeon happened to know each other around this time.
아마도
It's possible as a staff member and a contestant.
그런가요?
So had Seung-yeon been working on V-Stars all along?
아니야.
No, she went for a tabloid TV show sometime in the middle of as a producer. The show was called Scoop, I'm sure you've heard of it.
일단은
Its concept was to trace trending issues in a show business format to satisfy public curiosity. In reality, they pried into people's private lives to an undue extent. Viewers loved the show for its shocking content,
그때
and it earned Seung-yeon enough reputation thanks to the success of the show.
그러면
I guess that's when people began to call her the star producer.
어
She was very successful, she even received an award. With that as a stepping stone, she gloriously came back to B-Star Season 4.
도대체
I never expected to find Sale in those at a time like this. He could have kept denying it, but instead he admitted to it quickly.
맞아요.
No close-up shots so far. Maybe he was afraid that someone might post some close-up shots.
진짜?
Changing his tact at too early admission to prevent no further suspicion. It's just my assumption.
문제는
The
그거야.
problem is not this, but something else now that Sale admitted to it. Why he went there and for what. Talk to Sale if you want to know more. That was the plan.
그랬지.
It was as if Seung-yeon told me herself. You said she showed you the blackmail herself, right? She didn't say much about what was written on it, though. Sounded like she was suspended. You said, you sent this to me, right? You're the only one I could think of. She didn't bother with the contents of the letter, but only cared about who sent it to her. But why did she pick you out of everyone?
그건
Because she had made a similar offer to me during the preliminaries. To have a secret relationship beyond the business relationship.
그래.
Yeah. Maybe she thought I had been criticizing her ever since. Yu-hyuk suddenly looked at Do-yoon.
도윤아.
Do-yoon, how about you? By any chance did she...
아니었어.
No, she didn't say such a thing to me.
그때
That's how your conversation ended at that time.
그래.
Yes, either she was okay with it or she had no proof, I don't know. That was the end of our talk. I had been keeping my mouth shut since then, but I changed my mind after listening to Sale's lies. I'm sorry for hiding it until now.
아니야.
She's gone now and I'd like to keep her privacy. I'd better stop talking about her.
그럴지도.
She passed away and Hye-sung cannot defend himself at the moment. The issue could easily be consumed as gossip. Yu-hyuk bit his lip and just stood there.
솔직히
I suspected him of having a very intimate relationship, but I wasn't sure. Though I grew more suspicious ever since the collapse and how Hye-sung had reacted to the topic.
그래도
Still, I don't like talking about someone else's personal life, although she never cared about anyone's privacy. That's true, but...
그런데
For what reason would he lie about it? So what did Sale say was written in the black?
그럴까?
He said the blackmail was composed by cutting and pasting letters from magazines. And Seung-yeon received it just before the beginning of the stage.
그럼
We've seen the same thing then. What did it say exactly?
그건
As far as I remember, what I saw was, unless she stops getting in a personal relationship with contestants and granting privileges to them. The blackmail said they would bury everyone by exposing everything.
어?
That's all?
응.
Yes, although the exact wording could have been different, that was the message.
잠깐만.
Stop illegal activities and run the show fairly. That sounds too reasonable and fair to come from a blackmailer.
나도야.
Couldn't agree more. Although they were demanding fairness on their own terms. They weren't asking her to eliminate or revive someone. Who would get most benefited by fair competition? We must exclude Hyesung for sure.
그렇지.
Since Seokyeon and Hyesung were often the biggest beneficiaries of unfair competition.
그럼
You should be taken off the list as well, since your top rank has never been compromised anyway. Am I off the list already? Thanks. After pondering for a moment, they raised their heads.
역시
We don't have enough information to judge who the blackmailer is yet. The blackmailer couldn't be one of the eliminated contestants if they never demanded to change the result of the previous rounds. Now that this has become a significant issue, the police will get to work on this.
억울해요.
Paying so dearly just for one mistake, aren't we?
그렇다는 건
Are you saying lying about it was a mistake?
네.
I didn't read the blackmail thoroughly, so I wasn't really sure what it was about. Fans often threat us like that, so I just gave you a rough answer.
그럼
Then why didn't you say you forgot about it? Sale suddenly became angry.
아닌데요.
Because I didn't want to give you an impression of avoiding any topic. The blackmail had nothing to do with the incident here in the first place. Before I know it, I'm suddenly the sole suspect.
알잖아.
I'll be on your side. As long as you tell me the truth.
도윤이 형.
I feel like I'm being interrogated. You'll regard me as the attacker as soon as you catch me with one thing. Sale firmly clenched his hand.
괜찮아?
Why don't you calm down? I hope you trust me. I guess he's deciding to? I don't know. I'll remember what you said. But I'm not sure about other people.
이럴
Thatter is scary. We're witnessing the power of the so-called collective intelligence. These people are even going after us, the staff.
아마도
They seem to have dug up old news after the survivors list was revealed. Old stuff from many years ago.
그치만요.
But does it even matter now? I mean, why do I have to give this kind of explanation, huh? Under what suspicion?
그런 것 같아.
In fact, it seems irrelevant to our current topic. I was surprised that a former B-Stars contestant is now a staff member.
네?
I'll be happy to tell you if it would clear things up. I was in season 2, eliminated right away, though. Sale briefly stopped talking. It's that I got carried away because I lost my temper.
전혀요.
That the past audition history and current situation are irrelevant. It's all water under the bridge now anyway. Hey, I don't even remember now.
억울해요.
I explained to you that it was just a coincidence.
알잖아.
But no one here is really satisfied with the explanation. Like, come on, girl, we know it's not.
왜요?
Is this something I have to persuade you?
올해도
If not, we'd just be running on parallel lines. Please provide us with a reasonable explanation of how you came to be seen in the photos.
형까지.
Are you saying I'm your stalker? I don't, and that's why I'm asking you why you've been found in my photos. Sale looked away, looking somewhat displeased. What? Oh, he's one of the you're not the stalker. Okay.
그게요.
There was a break before the start of training camp, remember? At that time, I was on vacation taking care of some personal matters. Then I happened to see Inha on the street. She was busy walking, and I guess she didn't see me. We
그리고
were walking in the same direction, so out of curiosity, I just followed her to know where she was going. It sounds like you were tailing her.
그거야.
But it would be more awkward to catch up to her just to say hi. That's all it is. Isn't this what we call a coincidence? So after that, I left to deal with my own matters. Are you satisfied now?
아닌 것 같아.
Sale, you were found in not just in one, but in several photos. Are you saying you happened to be around her on all of those occasions?
모르겠어요.
Sorry, I honestly don't remember any of the other occasions. Even the photo I just explained to you about, I remembered the situation barely after seeing the photo. Sale wildly scratched his head. The
아시겠어요?
suspicious ones are not me, but those guys who captured Inha's daily life in photos. How did they know she was going to be there?
말하자면
They're the ones who fit the definition of stalker. You should questioning that person rather than me. Fatter is such a joke. They think S_Singyun's disappearance has anything to do with me. So are you saying I have something to do with him? Since your story was out on Fatter, S_Singyun remains silent.
그런
They are free to believe in conspiracy theories, but conspiracy theories are conspiracy theories at most. Sailor raised his head and pouted. Are you even sure they suddenly shut their mouth when my name started to come up?
그건
It was after Hyesung's injury news was out.
그 말은
It's been a while since that news came out. Maybe they're quiet now because Hyesung is still alive after their failed murder attempt. They copped out after they caught their old lies.
그랬지.
It does prove that their forewarning declaration was full of holes.
그렇다는 건
Like I said earlier, it's physically impossible for me. Seo caught his breath while looking at Do-yoon scratching his head. You know I lost my phone, right? I don't even have a smartwatch like you guys. That's why I kept asking you about the situation on Fatter. No,
그랬었지.
you didn't at all.
아시겠어요?
S_Sing Yeon have been filling up the timeline with their posts, so how is it even possible to write a post without being noticed? Well, it's a good thing I asked. If I didn't, I could have been framed.
인정해요.
I know I don't leave a good impression on others.
그거 있잖아.
I think it came from the audience who visited the studio.
그래요.
Oh, so? What did they say? They described you as harsh and rude.
그치만
The newcomers don't carefully listen to us, and we, the staff members, get all the blame if anything goes wrong. Kids are off the hook. They don't care about anything but themselves. They were mostly fans of Hyesung.
100%예요.
I knew it. Its source is pretty obvious. Hyesung's fans, right? They are hardcore fans. I know people have been saying this and that. They try to curry public favor on Fat and flood our email and forums as a means of protest. Fans like that don't care about other people in the audience when they come to the studio. They just complain about how they were unfairly treated even if we treated them all the same. We, the studio staff, cannot control the audience at all times.
아무래도
I tried my best to protect the contestants. In order to control the crowd, you may have to use harsh words.
왜요?
Why? What do you want to know? Do you really have to spit in my face? It's like they're determined to hurt people. That's ridiculous.
아니야.
Oh, dude, don't get me wrong.
알잖아.
Beastars was already infamous even before Sengyeon joined it. You also fell victim to the malicious edits that made a mockery of you. I felt you also suffered a lot mentally, although you didn't say anything about it.
도윤이 형
You are giving me a hard time. Please don't. I'm sorry for treating you so harsh from the beginning. Right, we're done here.
이제 됐죠?
Are you happy now?
전 할 말 다 했어요.
I told you everything. Seo's words echoed around in vain. Do-yoon bit his lip and just stood there.
세일아.
Seo,
너무한 거 아니에요?
don't you think you're
계속
being too
몰아세우는
harsh to
건?
me? Lashing out at me like this. Seo's explanations were full of inconsistencies. Other people clearly know about this. Then it might be better for Do-yoon to point out all the inconsistencies.
네 얘기는 알겠어.
I see what you're saying.
그럼 여기에 대해서도
Then I want you to
말해줬으면.
tell me about this too.
여기 어디요?
About what?
뭐요?
PD님이 혜성이를 편애했다고 말한 거.
You said Sengyeon favored Hyesung over the others.
네, 그랬었죠.
Yes, I did.
사실이니까요.
It's true.
그때 넌 협박장을 받을 만도 했다고 말했어.
Also said she deserved the blackmail.
협박장 내용이 기억 안 난다면서 편애랑 상관 있다는 건 어떻게 알았지?
If you don't remember the content of the blackmail, how do you know that it was related to Sengyeon taking sides with Hyesung?
넌 협박장 내용을 잊어버렸다고 했어.
You said you forgot about what the blackmail contained,
의심사기 싫어서 아무 내용이나 둘러댔다고.
claiming that you just said something random to avoid our suspicion.
그래요.
I did.
두 얘기
The two
서로
stories
모순되고 있어.
contradict each other.
사실은 그것뿐만이 아니야.
Not only that,
넌 PD님이 협박장 받은 걸 봤다고
you also
직접
said
말한
that you
적도
had seen
있어.
Sengyeon receiving the blackmail.
종이를 오려붙인 방식이라는 것까지 얘기했었고.
You explained that the blackmail was composed by cutting and pasting letters from magazines.
제가 언제요?
When did I say that?
PD님 발견했을 때쯤.
When we found Sengyeon's body.
기억력 되게 좋으시네요.
Wow, you have a phenomenal memory. Seo moved back while adjusting his glasses.
그래서 이렇게 합주기들이 되셨구나.
Is that why everyone's so quiet?
네 얘기 안 맞는 건 저거 하나가 아니야.
But you told us it's full of inconsistencies.
청문회가 열렸네요.
Or are we holding a public trial?
너 왜 이렇게 낯설어 갑자기?
You act like a very different person now.
저는 그냥 전데요. 여러분이 보는 눈이 바뀐 거죠.
It's me. I'm still myself. It's just you're all biased now. Sale answered as if he was at ease, but his trembling voice gave him away.
또 뭐가 무슨 일 한 건데요?
So what are the inconsistencies?
이나 사진에서 발견된 거.
Your presence in Inha's photo.
개인적으로 외출했다 우연히 마주쳐서 따라가 본 거라고 했지.
You said it was coincidence that you ran into Inha while on vacation.
그래요.
Okay.
그게 뭐 어때서요?
What's wrong with that?
네가 찍힌 이나 사진은 여러 장이었어.
You've been seen in a number of her photos.
그중 하나는 베스타 예선이 끝나고 합숙하기 전 사진이었지.
One of them was taken before the beginning of the training camp after the B-Stars preliminaries.
그때가 확실해.
I'm sure it was taken during that period.
모르겠어?
Can't you see the
방금 두
inconsistency
얘기
between the two stories we
어떤
just talked
모순이 있는지.
about?
글쎄요. 저는 그게
I don't really.
그럼 내가 말하는 게 낫겠네.
I should be the one telling you then. Ina stepped forward while displaying the first photo.
베스타 예선 끝나고 합숙하기 전이야.
That was before the start of the training camp after the B-Stars preliminaries.
네가 내 근처에서 찍힌 사진
One of the photos
부산
you're
본가
in
근처에 있어.
was taken near my home in Busan.
그런데요.
Okay, and?
네가 한 말을 떠올려봐.
Think about what you said.
사진 개인적으로 외출했다가 우연히 찍힌 거라고 했지.
You said the photos were taken while you were on vacation.
내 본가 근처에 개인적인 볼일이 있었어?
What personal business can you possibly have near my house?
그건
It's...
나 참가 신청서에 집 주소를 크루 연습실 거 적었거든?
The address I wrote down on my application form was at my crew's dance studio.
그런데 어떻게 한참 떨어진 본가 근처에 나타나셨지?
So what were you doing near my house, which is very far from the address I had written down? Sale lowered his head as if he was lost for words.
세일아 말해줘.
Sale, come on. What's going on here? There was a long silence.
묵비권 행사야?
Exercising your right to remain silent.
잠깐. 지금 너무 날이 서 있어.
Everyone's on edge right now.
다들 조금만 물러서.
Guys, go easy on him. Beads of sweat rolled down Ji-young's forehead.
제대로 말해줄 수 있겠어?
Can you tell us exactly what happened? Sale twitched at Yu-hyuk's remark.
제 생각에는
I think.
더 말해봤자 수렁에만 빠질 것 같네요.
My explanation will just lead to bigger misunderstandings.
제대로 말을 해준다고요? 아니요.
Will I tell you exactly what happened? No.
서혜성을 저렇게 했냐고요?
Did I attack Hyesung?
그것도 아니에요.
No.
할 말은 끝이고요. 이젠 그냥 멋대로 생각하세요.
That's all I got to say. Other than that, regard me any way you want.
너 진짜 그렇게 나올 거야?
Are you really going to resist like this?
방법이 이것뿐이네요.
You leave me no choice.
알겠어. 그렇게 나온다면
Fine, be that way. Ina fixed her gaze on something.
까봐. 네 가방.
Let me see what's in your bag. Sale clenched his bag.
싫어요. 제가 왜요?
No, why would I?
떳떳하지? 통 크게 한 번 까고 넘어가면 돼.
If you have nothing to hide, just open it so we can get this over with.
소지품 검사할 때 서혜성이 굳이 가방 얘기를 했었지.
When we examined all of our personal belongings, Hyesung said Sale's bag should be included.
생각해보니까 그때 실드 칠 게 아니었어.
I shouldn't have covered for you then.
자, 괜찮지?
You can show it to us, right?
절대 안 돼요.
Never.
딴 분들도 다 마찬가지 생각이에요?
Do you all agree with her?
어떻게든 내 가방을 까봐야겠다고?
That I have to open my bag? Nobody dared to answer. His eyes glared with hostility.
개판이네.
Wow, what a joke.
그렇게 따까리 짓을 해도 이딴 꼴을 보네요.
After everything I've done for you all, this is what I get.
그러게 되게 슬프다, 그치?
I know, it's all very sad, isn't it?
근데
But you know what? You brought it upon yourself!
멈춰!
Stop!
몸싸움은 허락할 수 없어.
I won't let you get physical. Ji-young quickly stepped in between the two. Ji-young looked pale but determined.
언니도 봤잖아.
You saw him, he's
아저씨,
acting all
완전
weird.
수상해.
다짜고짜 뒤집어 까보라고 하니까.
He's trying to make me to open it without any justification.
이나 네 말 나도 동감이야.
I
수상하다고
agree with you,
생각해.
Inha. He's suspicious.
숨길 게 없다면 보여주면 된다고도 생각해.
Show us what's in it if he's got nothing to hide.
그치만 여기서 치고받다
But what if somebody gets
잘못하기라도
hurt in the course of your action?
하면 이나야, 그땐 어떻게
How
할
do you
거야?
deal with it then, Inha?
일단 진정해야 돼. 널 위해서도.
Why don't you relax a bit and think for yourself? Ina glared at Sale across Ji-young's shoulder. Sale bit his lip and avoided the other's eyes.
누나 말이 맞아. 말로 하자.
Ji-young is right. Let's talk it out.
어차피
Find out about it
밝혀질 일이야.
sooner or later.
알겠어.
Fine.
언니 말이라 치고받진 않겠어.
I won't get physical with you since Ji-young asked me not to. Ina slowly moved towards Sale.
나
But
똑바로 봐.
look me in the eye.
왜요?
Why?
왜냐?
Because
그렇게 눈을 깔고 있으면
if you keep your head down,
그걸 못 보니까.
you won't see this! She put her hand around his back to open the messenger bag. All eyes were on the contents that spilled out of Sale's messenger bag. A tablet? It was clearly a tablet PC on the floor.
너 수첩 말고 딴 건 없다면서.
You said the notebook was the only thing you read. Ina's angry shout suddenly stopped.
사진
The photos? No! Sale hastily put his belongings back into his bag.
거기에 다 걸렸어.
Give up, it's all over.
아니라고.
No, it's not! Ji-young came between the two again.
안 돼. 진정해.
Oh, this is a new sprite. Please, calm down!
누나
Ji-young,
말 듣는 척하다 달려든 건 미안해.
I'm sorry that I tricked you,
그치만 봤지?
but you saw what came out of his bag.
그래, 나도 봤어.
Yeah, I saw it.
그럼 탈탈 털어야지.
Then we should make him confess everything.
말했지. 밝혀야 된다고 생각해.
I told you
좁자는 게
we'll
아니야.
have to talk him out of it. I also want to get things straight.
그래도 몸싸움은 안 돼.
But no coercive behavior like that.
내가 쟤를 어떻게 하기라도 할까봐
Worried I was going to hit him.
사고가 날지도 몰라서 그래.
I'm afraid it could lead to an accident. Ji-young's hands began to tremble weakly. Sweat glistened on her forehead.
이런 데서 네가 무너지면 안 돼.
You need to keep yourself together.
자신을 지켜야 돼.
Stay strong.
문제되는 일을 했다면 나가서 대가를 치를 거야.
If Sale did something wrong, you can't evade the law, right?
저는
Do-yoon looked at the things lying on the floor. At that very moment.
혜성아
Hyesung! Oh my god, he opened his eyes. All eyes were on Hyesung.
무슨 일이야?
What's going on? I think Hyesung just
움직인
moved.
것 같아. 뭐라고?
Seriously? The others stopped quarreling and looked at Hyesung.
혜성아 서희성
Hey, Hyesung!
정신이 들어?
Are you awake? Can
네,
you hear
말-
me? There was no further response from Hyesung.
도윤아, 확실하게 봤어?
But Do-yoon, are you sure he really moved?
저 지경인데 움직였단 거야?
How could he move in that condition?
혹시 다른 큰일 난 거
Are
아니고?
you sure it wasn't something else?
숨은 분명히 쉬고 있어.
He's clearly breathing though.
서혜성.
Hyesung. Sale stopped collecting his things and rushed to Hyesung.
정신 차려. 일어나서 똑바로 말해.
Wake up and tell them the truth.
내가 너 이렇게 한 거 아니지?
Tell them I didn't do this to you. Wake up.
세이다.
Sale,
그만해.
stop. Sale tried to grab Hyesung, but Do-yoon pushed him away, just barely.
죽일 셈이야?
Are you trying to kill him?
이러면 상황만 더 나빠지는 걸
You are-
모르겠어?
You're only making things worse.
도현이 형, 전
Do-yoon, I was just... Do-yoon looked Sale straight in the eye. Quivering eyes, pale complexion, and beads of sweat rolling down his neck. He was already breaking down.
너 나랑 얘기 좀 해.
Sale, can we talk?
저랑 또 무슨
Again?
얘기를?
About what? Do-yoon grabbed Sale by his arm before he could say anything.
형,
Do-yoon,
잠깐만 다녀올게.
we will be right back.
야, 어디 가게?
Hey, where are you going?
따로 떨어지면 위험해.
We should stick together. He quickly noticed everyone was in shock. Do-yoon shook his head at Yoo-hyuk, who was reaching out his hand.
제대로 얘기해 볼 거야.
Let me talk with him personally.
여기선
I don't think we can speak frankly here. I mean, he's not wrong.
왜 여기 데리고 온 거예요?
Why did you bring me here?
네가 정신을 못 차리니까.
Because you were cracking under pressure.
제가 뭘요?
No, I was not.
지금처럼 굴면 상황은 더
Resisting
악화돼.
like that is only making
모르겠어?
things worse.
다들 나를 의심하잖아요.
What do you expect? Everyone's accusing me
이나 씨
of
스토커에
being a stalker
서해성
and Hyesung's
정신병이라고.
attacker.
모두 그렇게 생각하면서
Do-yoon, I know you're with them on this.
확신은 못 하겠어.
I don't know what to believe at the moment.
네가 솔직하게
So I
말해주는
think
게
it's important
중요하다고
that you be
생각해.
honest with me. Sale had seen a number of photos of Inha. The suspicious contents of the notebook and the photos that fell out of it. They were personal photos that seemed irrelevant to the show.
무조건 모른다고
If you just
뻗대면
keep saying no and
정말
denying
사단이 날 거야.
everything, you'll be in big trouble.
봐, 앞에 있었던 일도 다 네가 한 것처럼 돌아가고
Look,
있잖아.
everyone is a minute away from blaming you for all the other stuff.
아니에요. 진짜 아니라고요.
They shouldn't know.
서해성이나 이상한 익명 계정이나
I
다
am
아니에요.
not responsible for Hyesung or the fatter troll.
차근차근 말해줘야 상황이 끝나.
You need to tell me exactly what happened if you want everything to end here. Sale fiddled with his messenger bag. His eyes wandered between the stage and the other side of the corridor.
불안하면 방으로 장소로 옮길까?
Are you nervous? Do you want to go somewhere more private?
불안해 보여요?
Do I look
제가-
nervous to you? Yes.
여긴 어수선하니까
Let's
조용히
go someplace
얘기하자.
quiet. Do-yoon opened the door to the dressing room. Seo slowly approached after a brief silence. He looked inside both in anger and fear.
여기면 좀 진정이 돼?
Do you think you can control yourself here?
복도보다는요.
Better than in the corridor. I love how we felt
만약
that
여기 무너져 버리면
if this
둘다
place
죽겠죠?
collapses, I guess we'll both die. I love how we felt the need to pan to determine that.
그런 일은 없길 바래.
I hope that doesn't happen.
해본 말이에요. 그냥
I hope so too. He failed to persuade Hyesung. Hyesung, who was left alone, came back seriously injured. He could never let that happen again. He must persuade Sale to settle things.
무슨 얘기를 해드릴까요?
What do you want to hear?
나오고 있는 말 전부.
Everything that is unexplained. You must be curious now that you've seen what's inside.
대체
Oh man, what really happened? What's more to come? After a brief silence, Sale put on a crooked smile.
모르겠어요.
I don't know. I'm lost too. One thing's for sure, everything's over now.
알잖아.
Sale, nothing's over yet.
아니죠.
Of course it isn't over you, top 5. There's a big difference between a performer and audience. You don't know what it feels like for an audience like me. You have to be in the same shoes to know the difference. A few sweet words don't do any good. After all, we're heading for the destined ending. Sale frowned when he finished talking.
이런 얘기 무슨 의미가
What's the
있을까요?
point of this conversation?
어차피 전 망했는데
I'm
추철거려봤자
ruined anyway. No, you're
그렇지.
not.
네 얘기를 계속해봐.
Keep talking. Sale lowered his head weakly.
이럴 줄은.
Wow, Fatter is even assessing your skills now.
그건
It's just random people's hearsay.
그래요.
Everything looks easy until you're actually in it. I understand. I was no different. People don't realize the gap between ideal and reality until they suffer big time.
그래도
But you've never left the stage.
그거야.
I didn't want to stay away from the stage at any cost. Sale briefly stopped talking. But what I think is insignificant. Sale, you don't need to be harsh on yourself.
아닌데요.
But it's too evident to ignore the truth. I ended up here after wandering around the stage for so long. Sale's face turned pale. Better speak more carefully. Vicarious satisfaction. That was what I needed to fight my depression. Or else I would have even forgotten why I was here in the first place. What do you mean?
사실은
Background checking contestants, that's what I did. You must be kidding. Ever since the termination of the contract with the investigation agencies, I engaged in the task.
어쩔 수 없죠.
It was Sung Yun's order, so I had no other choice. You didn't have to accept something you were not familiar with, even though it was an order. Sale frowned with a dark look on his face.
말하자면
Wasn't the first time.
그게
Wasn't.
혹시나
Do you remember the old program called Scoop? It's a tabloid TV program that made Sung Yun famous. Oh, Ji-young told me about it. Sale drooped his head. It was a show that pried into the private affairs of the target of their families and even their friends.
그래요.
That means I worked for Sung Yun even back then. Get it now? She's asked me to do the same thing I'd been doing before, so I did it. Sale slowly shook his head when he was done talking.
헛수고하시는 거예요.
You're wasting your time.
사실 제가 서혜성을 어쨌습니다.
Don't expect a confession
같은
from
말
me
안
because
나와요.
I'm not a murderer.
그런 얘기를 들으려는 게 아니야.
That's not what I am expecting.
네 얘기를 계속해봤으면
I just
좋겠어.
want to hear your story. After a brief silence, Sale seemed to be lost in thought.
뭐가요?
What did they say?
그게
They say that you're no different from Sung Yun. They don't even know. Beastars is completely under Sung Yun's control.
아니
But what affects the result is the vote.
그치만
Viewers think the contestants advance to the next round because they voted for them, but she had the power to assign a contestant with any amount of running time on TV.
아시겠어요?
They weren't viewers. They were just manipulated. I just tried to challenge that unreasonable wield of power. Now everyone thinks of me as someone with an endless desire for power. Do you think Beastars would have continued if I hadn't taken necessary measures?
아니
Sale, stop trying to justify yourself. You intervened to correct things. That is a poor excuse.
Huh?
Lie, rationalization. You know how to strike nerves well.
네.
Well, I guess I wanted to justify telling myself that this was all for reasoning for fairness for the show. Regardless, the influence of my intervention was negligible anyway.
그치만
But you're the same. Isn't that why you left the band and stayed in the show even though they called you a betrayer?
나는
Sale sighed after staring at Do-yoon, who seemed to be at a loss for words. I know they were pointless.
그래요.
It's true I was delusional at times. At first I thought I was somebody. I thought I could do anything. Power could change the tide in the show. Like, as I deluded myself as if I had so much power when I hadn't. Sale began to breathe heavy. Better pay more attention on the conversation.
왜요?
What else do you want to know? You said there's a big difference between performers and the audience. But as a staff member, you have a job to do. The stages require more than just contestants.
그 말은
You want to dig into that.
그래요.
Okay, I wanted to influence the audition any way I could. I immediately engaged on whatever task Sun-yeon gave me. But one day she asked me to do something I just couldn't do. After agonizing over it for some time, I refused to follow her order.
그래서
Then,
그거야.
she grimaced after listening to me.
그리고
She excluded me from any task for a while. I realized I was a pawn she could always replace with someone else. After that, I never questioned her decision. I did everything she asked me to do.
도윤이 형,
You probably think I'm a coward. Are you talking about how you're clinging on to the past? You are just struggling to prove your worthiness.
그렇다는 건
In the most servile manner. Come on, be honest with me. I yielded to her because I didn't know what else to do. This is the only career I could take. I have neither good voice, good dancing skills, good looks, nor good family background. But I've still made it this far in the industry. I ain't doing that bad, huh? Seo continued without hearing his answer.
도윤이 형,
You understand, right? After all, you also surrendered and accepted Sung-yeon's offer.
나는
Seo,
아니요.
It's not criticism. That no matter how much you debase yourself, whoever survives until the end is the winner. I could become the laughingstock, but I still have no other choice. The least thing I could do is bear with it. Seo's face turned pale. Better speak more carefully. Oh, we get a report of it.
개인적으로는 어떻게 생각하세요?
What did you think when you first heard that
제가
I had been a former
베스타 출연자였다는
B-Stars
거.
contestant?
놀랐어.
Very surprised because I had no idea about your story. Seo held his breath for a second.
실상이 나온 거였죠.
My true self was revealed.
말은 청산유수인데 실력은 개판인
I was
찌질이.
all talk when I am a pathetic loser in reality.
떨어지고 한동안은 원통하고 억울했었죠.
I felt bitter for a while, feeling like I was wronged after I had gotten eliminated.
사람 보기도 민망해서 방에만 처박혀 있었어요.
I was so ashamed to see anyone outside that I didn't even bother to go out.
첫방 한다길래 혼자 본방으로 봤죠.
I watched the first episode alone on TV.
그제서야 정확히 알았어요.
That's when I realized the truth.
알았다니
Truth.
어떤
제가 객관적으로 꼴벌견이라는 거요.
That I wasn't prepared to compete there, objectively speaking.
컨디션이 별로였다. 준비가 덜 됐다.
Bad day, not enough time to practice, blah blah.
그런 걸로는 수습이 안 되는 수준이었죠.
No, they were all excuses. I was simply not at the level yet.
실제로 컨디션이나 준비 문제였을지도 모르잖아.
It really could be due to a bad day or insufficient practice time. Sale glanced at Doyoon.
이상은 높았어요.
I was way too ambitious.
첫 무대부터 뭔가 보여줄 수 있을
I
거라고
thought I could prove
생각했죠.
myself on the very first stage.
심사위원
I
놀라고
imagined judges would get
시청자는
astounded,
환호하고
viewers would yell and applaud.
등장부터 실력파로 바로 인정받는
I had that fantasy that I'd be
그런
successful
환상.
from the very beginning.
오디션에 출연하면 누구나
Everyone
그런
has
걸
that fantasy when
상상하잖아.
they start to audition.
다시 하면 제대로 할 수 있다고 우겨댔죠.
I insisted that I could do it much better if I was given another chance.
편집하고 한 번 더 하게 해달라고 깽판을 쳤어요.
I raised hell, demanding that they edit my part and give me another chance.
당연히 그것까지 방송에 나갔어요.
And they aired that
저라도
scene of
틀었을
me
거예요.
whining and yelling. I don't blame them for doing that.
동기들 메신저에 캡처가
The
돌고
screenshots of me were spread
저한테도
all
왔어요.
over, to my friends and finally to me.
한동안 걔들한테 짭짤한 재미를 줬겠죠.
People must have been entertained with the hilarious memes of me.
그 길로 아예 음악을 그만둔 거야?
Is that why you gave up on music? Sale gave a slight nod.
무대에 서고 싶은 마음 이제 없어?
You don't want to go up on the stage anymore.
네. 그런 것 같아요.
No, I guess not.
있다 없다도 아니고 같은 건 뭐야?
Guess not. This is basically a yes or no question.
다시 하죠. 무대 생각 없어요. 이제
Let me rephrase that. No, not at all.
오디션 출연이 깨달음을 줬어요.
That audition experience taught me a lesson. Like what exactly?
그치만
Then what was I supposed to say?
있잖아.
Please bear with me. I want your full explanation. The show business doesn't tolerate disobedience. Now I'm a public punching bag.
알잖아.
Oh, come on. You know what I want to hear about.
뭐가요?
Tell you everything. What if I did? You would be busy slinging off at me.
아니.
No way. We'll hear you out patiently.
네?
You think so. You saw how the others looked daggers at me. The moment I admit to anything, they might even try to pin the stalker or attacker charge on me. Why would I throw myself into that trouble? Dale's face turned pale. Better speak more carefully.
뭐가요?
What more do you want to know? If it was Sing Yun's order, what about Inha? Did she order you to follow her?
그거야.
In her case, I was just trying to help her. And improve myself by doing so.
어?
Help, prove. Can you elaborate on those?
사실은
Sing Yun had treated me with no respect since I don't even know when. She'd been like that for quite a long time. Ignoring me, swearing at me, and you know, she would always belittle me. I didn't get into show business for that in the first place.
말하자면
I wanted to do something else. I had to prove that I was a better person.
그리고
That's when Inha showed up. Sing Yun assigned her with the unreasonable show character and forced her to work on it. When she put her words on the internet, they didn't know a thing.
그거 있잖아.
Are you saying you're the only one who recognized the true value of Inha?
그래요.
Exactly. She is a person who's trying to overcome her past. A contestant who is to shine in her near future with great talent. I just tried to bloom her potential.
결국
After all, you wanted Sing Yun's recognition.
인정해요.
I'll have to admit it. I wanted Inha to become successful. To be honest, I wanted to surprise Sing Yun with what I'd got.
한마디로
I have an eye for talent even if Sing Yun never respected me. I've had it since I was a student. You mean since university?
그렇죠.
Yes, I was one of the best theoretical students in the Department of Applied Music. It was the most glorious moments in my life. And Inha grabbed my attention. I thought I could complement her weaknesses and lead her to success.
도윤이 형,
You've been an underground singer long enough to know that a bit of talent and effort won't put you up there. Look at you, Hyuk. You saw how we surpassed your years of achievement in just a few months. If I support Inha, does it hurt her in any way? Who knows? She might have thanked me in the end. I'm sure of it.
관심 가려가며 받을 수 없다는 둥.
We can't choose what we get.
재능 보여줬으면 프라이버시 없는 게 당연하다는 둥.
The gifted have no privacy. An ordinary person cannot climb over the wall of the talented, and so on.
그렇게 말하면서 남의 꽁문이나 쫓아다니고 있었죠.
I was just chasing other people's tails. A dim light glared against Sale's glasses. Sale gave a cynical smile.
버스킹 할 때도 인기 없었어요. 관객 수준만 탓했죠.
To be honest, I wasn't popular either when I was busking. I only blamed the audience for their bad taste.
전문가 앞에서 하면 바로 뜰 거라고 생각했지.
I thought industry experts would recognize my
아시다시피.
talent immediately.
그때부턴 무대를 꿈꾼 적 없어요.
I haven't dreamed of performing on stage since.
여기서 지켜볼 뿐이죠.
I'd rather just watch here.
이나의 스토커.
Are you Inha Stalker?
편지
If you
보내는
were
놈
talking about the
얘기하면
guy who keeps sending her
몇 번을
the
물으셔도 절대 아니에요.
If you're talking about the guy who keeps sending her the letters, no, absolutely not.
그치만 벌써 모두를 기만했는데 무슨
But
상관이겠어?
I've already deceived everyone, so who would even listen to me?
하지도 않은 일을 인정하라는 게 아니야.
I'm not telling you to confess to something you didn't do.
누가 제 말을 듣겠어요?
Who would listen to me anyway?
그런 생각 안 드세요?
Doesn't it ever cross your mind?
제가 거짓으로 둘러대는 걸 수도
Maybe
있는데
I'm just making things up.
그럼 다 아니라고 했겠지.
Then you would have denied everything.
하나만 인정하는
I don't
식으로는
think
안
you'll
했을
admit to
거라고
just
생각해.
one thing. Sale blankly stared at Doyun.
해석은 좋네요.
I guess that's one way to look at it.
믿는 거라고 생각해줘.
Look at it as me having faith in you. The two quietly looked at each other. There's
하나 더 있어요.
one more thing.
아무한테도 말하지 않은 게
Something I haven't told anyone.
지금은 어때?
Ready to share it with me?
아직
I
모르겠어요.
don't know.
그런
Admit to that, easy for you to say so.
그래도
You're worried about being framed as the attacker, but continuing to deny these suspicions won't help you either. You should be honest if you didn't do anything wrong.
아니죠.
I'm not like you guys. B-stars and show business are my life. I've already failed my challenge and I have nowhere else to run to.
그건
아시겠어요?
The moment I admit to any of the accusations, I will be doomed. Who would hire a floor director who's so often involved with the police? And WBS needs someone to take the rap for the whole trouble. So Yena's gone, so that only leaves me.
아닌 것 같아.
I can stop asking questions, but that doesn't solve anything. Someone must reveal the truth. Your sandcastle is crumbling from the inside, and you will have to face the outcome all at once when you get out of here. Sale briefly fell silent while trying to avoid the Yoon's eyes.
그래요.
Yeah, I can't escape from it. Don't take responsibility for what you didn't do.
그치만
But think about it. Do you think that your contestants will still be safe if those unrevealed stories on the show are all out? Safe? What do you mean by that? Your lives will be put under the microscope.
만에 하나
Everything will be revealed, and that includes all the good and bad things, and even secrets. People might keep biting on you just because you have competed in B-stars. That's ridiculous. You are not so desperate in this show, but how about the others? It would take at least a year until this gets settled, and meanwhile, nothing can be done. So I don't know what choice I should make.
그렇다고
I
볼
was
수 있죠.
obsessed with my career, and that led me this far.
혹시
How did you get to join the staff?
그거야.
B-Stars contacted me first after my elimination from the preliminaries. I got a call from Sing-Yun. She was an assistant producer back then. What did she call you for? She offered me to be her special guest for the show. They often invited past contestants who miserably failed in the audition. Sale gulped.
그치만
I refused her offer at once because I was so scared. I was sick of being ridiculed by people after the elimination from the preliminaries. I went a bit rude on her. I told her to stop bugging me. I blamed the show for ruining my life.
근데
Surprisingly,
그게-
she only consoled me. What? She consoled you?
그렇죠.
I'm not kidding. She really did. She said to everyone needed to find their own path where they could shine.
그리고
That's why she said she was only standing behind the stage. She suggested to me that becoming the staff was one of the ways to still enjoy the thrills of music. I hadn't felt that kind of consolation for months, and there she was. I bought that idea and strongly appealed to her that I would be a good asset to her show.
그렇다는 건
So you voluntarily asked her to hire you?
네.
Yes, I actually urged her. That's why I never wanted to let her down or disobey her.
그럴
Of
줄
course you couldn't disobey her, since she was the one who got you the career.
그러니까요.
I couldn't quit and this whole thing happened. I found solace in her and she was the only person I could rely on at the time. I didn't want to disappoint her, I was really afraid to do so.
그리고
Once I took that wrong path, I never knew where to stop. Now that she's gone, I'm not sure what to do.
도윤이 형
You seem quite surprised. I didn't know this had been going on for so long. Time was just one thing. The intensity of her demand grew stronger over time. Dale let out a sigh. For
말하자면
B-stars, the TV ratings was her priority. We leaked some interesting stories to grab people's attention. Mostly those contestants who had many life stories to tell survived for long.
만에 하나
The other contestants were eliminated because they had no more issues for us to expose. Couldn't you stop her?
네?
Me, she was my boss and the chief producer.
전혀요.
What was I supposed to do?
다시
Why didn't you
말해서
report her to the police? She gave you unreasonable orders.
사실은
And I don't even have the courage to become a whistleblower because you would have to leave B-stars.
그렇다고 볼 수
Because I
있죠.
became her accomplice the moment I followed her first order. Sale sighed deeply. It's not
아니라고요.
like I enjoyed doing it. We were all pawns anyway. I just followed her order, just playing my role. I'm nothing more than a pawn. Sale wrapped his arms around himself after finishing his story.
다들 좋을 대로 이용해 먹는데 노란한 것뿐이에요.
People used me to get what they wanted, and I've been pushed around just like that.
건수 좀 잡혔다고 사람을 살인자 취급하고
I'm sick of you treating me like a
이젠
murderer
한계라고.
over some irrelevant issues. His quivering eyes were checking the Yoon.
피해자.
Victim, that's what you
정말 그걸로
that's what you
됐어?
think you are.
그게 왜요?
What do you mean? What else do you want from me
이번엔 또
this
뭘
time?
원하시는데요?
사람들한테도
Is that what you're going to
그렇게
say to the
얘기하냐고?
others?
아니요. 아무 말도 안 할 건데요.
No, I'm not
맞아
going to say
죽을 일 있어요?
anything. They're going to beat me to death.
막 눈들 시뻘개져서는
All of them with their mad eyes. He couldn't reject Singyun's order. He got into this mess unwillingly. He won't explain a thing to the others. Do-yoon raised his head again.
세일아. 도망치지 말자.
Seo, please stop running away. He brought up the issue, but his mouth felt bitter. If it's something you can't handle, admit and accept it. Can he really say something like that? Do-yoon tried to shake off the questions.
제가 도망친 게 아니라 돌아가는 일이 절 이렇게 만들었다니까요.
I am not running away. It's just that the course of events left me here.
세일아. 넌 이나한테서
Seo,
피디님이
you said
생각하는
you saw
것보다 더
great
큰 재능과
talent and
스타성을
potential in
갖다고 있어.
Inha, even greater than what Singyun had seen in her.
그래요, 분명히 저한테는 보였어요.
Yes, her talent was crystal clear to me.
그러다 보니까 아무도 모른다는 과거도 궁금해졌고
Naturally, I got curious about her unknown past.
그래. 넌
Yes.
네 의지대로
So it was
이나
your
주변을
decision to sneak
맴돌았어.
around her.
데스타 출연자 뒷조사.
You said Singyun had
신피디님의
ordered you to carry
지시였다고 했지.
background checks on the B-Stars contestants.
좋아서 한 게 아니라
Not for
주어진
your own
역할을
personal
수행했던 것뿐이야.
enjoyment, but because you were ordered to.
맞아요. 그게 진실이에요.
Yes, and that's the truth.
제가 뒷조사에
Not
환장한
because I'm some
놈이라서가
crazy
아니라고요.
stalker.
하면서도 몇 번이나
You even know how shameful it was to create them out.
세일아. 알겠어?
Do you get it?
네가 해온 건 그저 시켜서 억지로 한
You
일이라고
said you were
말했지.
forced into doing things you didn't want to do.
그래요. 여태까지
Yes, up to now.
이나한테 한 일은 네 의지라고도 했어.
But you also said that the things you've done for Inha were on your own free will.
그건
It's
네가 말했었지.
you once told me
PD님하고 일하면서 마치 같은 위치인 것처럼 착각했었다고.
that you misunderstood your position as an equal to Singyun while working for her.
사람을 좌지우지하고
A position
평가하고
where you could
거부할
influence,
수 없는 제안을
judge,
하는 그런 위치.
and refuse the others.
한 번도 그런 위치였던 적은 없었죠.
I was never in that position. Not even once.
거기서 시작된 거야. 네가 가진 모순이.
That's where your internal contradiction began.
지금 절 분석하시는
Are
거예요?
you analyzing me now?
왜 이 꼬라지가 됐는지?
To figure out why my life is ruined.
넌 모든 게 자기를 떠밀었기 때문에 이렇게
You
됐다고
said you
했지.
were in this mess because you were pushed into it.
그럼요. 다 제 잘못이라는
Of
거예요?
course, you don't think it's all my fault, do you? It was Do-yoon's hideout as well. No, but it's nothing good at Do-yoon blankly.
제 나름대로 삽질해가면서 최선을
I
다했어요.
did make mistakes,
결과는 이
but
모양이라고요.
I did my best, and you know the result.
처음을 떠올려봐.
Try to remember how it all started.
결국
After
세일이
all, you...
아니
No, we...
우리는 자기 의지로 발을 들였어.
You stepped into this mess on your own free will.
그게 환호인지 모욕인지 권력인지 굴복인지도 모르고서.
Not knowing what was awaiting us, whether it be cheers or insults, power or surrender.
세일아, 넌 신PD님 밑으로 들어가길 자청했어.
Sale, you asked to work for Sing-yeon.
그건 아마도
Maybe that's...
간절하게
I wanted it
바랬어요.
desperately. Sale clenched the bag strap.
장기판 말이 아니라 장기를 두는 사람이 되기를.
I wanted to play chess, not become someone else's pawn. His hand, now clutching onto the bag strap, turned pale.
제 현실은 웃음거리 등신이었어요.
But in reality, I was just a ridiculous puppet.
두고 보자 싶었죠. 진짜 재능과 운.
I wanted to show the
있는 건
world what I could be
뭔지.
if I had talent, luck, and strings to pull. Seo raised his head and stared at Do-yoon.
맞아요. 내가
Yes.
원한 일이었어요.
This is what I wanted.
시키는 대로 할 뿐이라고 벽을 치면서
I kept
그러면서
telling myself that I was forced into doing these things.
마치 제가 뭐라도 된 것처럼 자기 만족에 빠져 있었던 거예요.
But in reality, I was deluded enough to believe I was a really influential person
몇 년 동안이나.
for several years. Sale shook his head after muttering something to himself.
그치만 전 이나 씨한테 편지를 보낸 스토커가 아니에요.
But I am not the stalker who sent those crazy letters to Inha.
서혜성 일도 정말 제가 안 했어요.
I'm not even Hyesung's attacker.
여기서 돌아가신 PD님하고 엮여서 망하는 일만 피해보려고 했어요.
I just didn't want to dig my own grave by getting tangled up with Sing-yeon.
그렇게 계속 도망만 치다가 상황이
So I kept running away and I ended up here.
숨기고 뺄수록 의혹이 깊어진 거야.
The more you hide, the deeper the pit of suspicion is.
상황을 진정시키고 의심에서도 벗어날 방법은 하나야.
There's only one way to resolve the situation and clear away all doubts.
자신이 한 일을 밝히고 분명히 인정하는 거.
Go confess and admit your mistakes to the others.
그래야만
That's
벗어날 수 있어.
the only way to get yourself out of this mess. Do-yoon felt a sharp pain in his chest. After brief silence, Sale seemed to be lost in thought.
알겠어요.
Fine.
형 말대로
I'll
할게요.
do as you say.
아직 말하지 않은 거 그건
The thing I haven't told anyone is...
말해줄 수 있겠어?
Can you tell me about it? Sale spoke again after a long silence.
협박장이요. PD님이 받았다는.
The blackmail which was sent to the producer.
제가 보냈어요.
I wrote it.
그래서 다르게 둘러댄 거야?
That's why you gave an evasive explanation,
협박범이 범인인 것처럼 돌아갈까봐?
fearing that you would also be suspected as Hyesung's attacker. Sale hesitated.
합류하고 모든 걸 다
I
바쳤어요.
gave my everything to her from the moment I joined her,
요구는 끝날 줄 몰랐죠.
but she always demanded more.
매해 더 자기
just-
마음대로 휘두르셨어요.
Kept getting worse.
뒷조사 처음엔 분명히 거부했다고요.
I objected to the background checks from the very beginning.
PD님 분명히 처음 뵀을 땐 같은 편인 것처럼
When I
말씀하셨어요.
first met Sung-yeon, she talked to me like she was my real friend,
내 마음 다 이해하는 것처럼.
as if she understood everything I was going through. Sale's voice quivered with sadness,
경적을 울리고 싶었죠.
and I wanted to give her a warning.
정신 차리라고. 누군가 당신을 지켜본다고.
That she was being watched and nothing would stay hidden.
그런 불안을
I wanted to make her feel
심어주고 싶었어요.
anxious.
PD님,
Any chance that she knew you were the
네가
blackmailer? Sale briefly pondered but shook his head.
전 의심스러운 사람이 아니었어요.
I wasn't on her list of suspects.
신 PD님의 구린 일에는
Since I was involved in
저도
all
엮여
of her dirty
있으니까.
work.
말하자면 상호 확증 파괴로
We had a
묶인 사이죠.
relationship based on mutually assured destruction.
딴 사람을 협박범으로 생각하시는 것
I
같았어요.
think she suspected someone else.
그게
Who?
누군데?
Sale's eyes twitched.
거기까진 몰라요.
That I don't know.
출연자 누구였는지 아님
Maybe it was a
스텝이었는지.
contestant or a staff member. Sale shook his head again.
그래서 그냥 입 다물고 있었죠.
So I just kept my mouth shut.
누가 뒤집어 쓰는지 알 바 아니었으니까.
It was not my concern whomever she suspected.
근데 결국 다시 돌아왔어요.
But in the end, it came back to me. The two of them stared at each other.
지금 얘기 이나랑 사람들한테도
Can you tell
할수
Inha and
있겠지?
the others too?
네,
Okay.
할게요.
I'll do it. Sale quietly nodded. He looked haggard, but his eyes were different from when they came in.
조금 위험하더라도 사람들을 여기로 부를
I
거야.
know it's a bit dangerous here, but I'll call everyone down here.
또 도망갈까 봐요.
Are you afraid that I might take off again?
알고 있.
Uh-huh. Sale smirked at Do-Yoon's answer.
마지막으로 부탁이 있어요.
I'd like to ask you one last favor.
늦어버린 건지도 모르지만
This may be too late.
마지막이라니.
One last favor.
뭘
What is it?
부탁하려고?
나가면 전부 경찰에 얘기할 거예요.
When I get out of here, I'll tell the police everything,
용역하고 뒷조사에서 써먹었던 거
including the background checking agencies we used,
무대가 무너질 때까지
crunch hours, the
뭐라고
crazy
진짜
schedules,
어려운
the awful
일정
resource
관리.
management,
수첩,
the notebook and
협박장까지
blackmail. I'll reveal everything.
빠짐없이 자백할 거예요. PD님이 뭘 지시했고 전 거기 따라서 뭘 했는지
I'll tell them what her orders were and how I carried them out.
그럼 무사하지 못할 거야.
You know that could be the end of your career. That just came out without thinking.
계속 도망쳐서
I kept running away and ended up here. Sale grabbed the strap of his messenger bag. He bit his lower lip and let out a sigh.
어떤 비난을 받아도 할 말이 없어요.
I'll be guilty as charged and I'll have to bear it. His hand on the strap began to shake. That much thinking, Do-Yoon grabbed Sale's hand.
아무나 할 수 없는 선택.
Not everyone can make that kind of decision.
나도
At least I can't. Sale raised his pale face.
무서워서 부탁한다는 거예요.
I'm asking you a favor because I'm afraid of the aftermath of my decision.
제가 모든 걸 말한 다음에 저를 다시 만나주세요.
I'd like you to meet me in person after I confess to everything.
이런 말 하는 것도 절 못 믿어서요.
I'm asking you because I want to leave myself with no other choice.
잔머리 굴리면서 또 도망쳐 버릴까 봐.
I don't want another chance to run away from reality. Do-Yoon nodded.
알겠어.
Okay,
기다릴게.
I'll wait for you.
감사합니다.
Thank you.
결심은 네가 한 거야.
You're the one who made the decision.
이제 그만 벗어나고 싶어요.
I want to get over this finally. Do-Yoon used his watch to call Inha. Inha let out a deep sigh after hearing the explanation.
다 믿으라고 하진 마라.
Don't expect me to believe everything you said.
아직 안 나온 얘기가 있는지
I can't be sure if you're still
바로 알
holding
순
things back
없으니까.
or not.
해명만으로 바로 판단할 수 없는 게 사실이야.
Realistically, I can't make my judgment based on your explanation only.
그치만 믿고 싶어.
But I want to believe you
네가 이나의
that you're
스토커가
not
아니라는
Ina's
거.
stalker,
혜성이를 그렇게 만든 범인이
that you're
아니란 거.
not Hyesung's attacker,
네가 진실을 말하고 있다는 거.
that you're telling the truth.
진실을 말했어요.
I did tell you the truth.
믿기 힘들다는 거 알아요.
I know it's
믿어달라고 할
hard to
자격도
believe it,
없고
and I know I don't deserve your trust.
흥분해서 되던 일도 모두 사과드릴게요.
I apologize for everything I've done to you.
여기서 다 끝낼 게 아니니까.
No rush. We can't settle everything here.
잘잘못을 따지고 대가를 치르는 일은 여길 나가고
We'll have to
나서부터.
get out of here first and to be able to finally settle who's right and wrong stuff. That is a clunky sentence.
태블릿, 수첩, 안에 있던 사진들.
Can you show us the tablet, the notebook, and the photos inside the notebook?
네,
Yes, I
그렇게
can. Sale slowly opened his messenger bag.
근데 규혁이 형은 왜 안 왔어?
By the way, where is Gyu-hyuk?
서혜성 혼자 둘 순
Well, we
없잖아.
can't leave Hyesung alone.
자기가 그러길래 언니랑 둘이 왔어.
He insisted on staying here, so I came with Ju-young.
너네 둘이 여기 있을 때도 혜성이가 잠깐
Even while you
깨어나려고
and
했어.
Sale were gone, Hyesung briefly regained consciousness.
네? 어땠는데요?
Really? What did he say? Ina and Ju-young looked at each other for a moment.
잠깐 눈 뜨고 뭐라 웅얼거렸거든.
He opened his eyes and mumbled something to himself.
금방 다시 조용해졌지만 뭐라고 하는지 듣질 못했다니까.
We couldn't hear what he said.
말을 한 게 맞는지도 정확하진 않아.
I'm not even sure if he mumbled meaningful words or not.
구조대 오기 전에 깨어날지도 모르겠어.
He might even wake up before the rescue team arrives. Do-yoon gave a sigh of relief. Just then, his watch vibrated.
메시지?
A message! Do-yoon stood next to the rest of the group and checked his watch. Not sure if this message will reach you. Can you come alone to the stage? Please come alone without anyone else. I have some personal business with you. Please, for the last time.
뭐지?
Huh?
난
I'll
규혁이 형한테 가
go stay
있을게.
with you, Hyuk.
같이 가지.
Wait for me,
이것만
won't
좀
you?
보고.
I just need to finish reading this. Ina spoke while flipping through the notebook pages.
보고 바로 따라 나와.
Come out after finishing it.
먼저 가볼게.
I'll go first. Do-yoon quickly left the dressing room. Leaving what and what's last? He had no idea what they meant. However, he had a bad feeling about it. Do-yoon went to see Hyesung as soon as he arrived at the stage. I checked Hyesung's breathing first.
형은 어디 간 거지?
Where is Gyu-hyuk? Oh. Do-yoon staggered toward Gyu-hyuk and wailed.
왜? 형, 왜 이런 짓을?
Why? Why would you do this, Gyu-hyuk? Do-yoon unwittingly grabbed Gyu-hyuk's shoulder. Gyu-hyuk's body hung there, slowly turning. His face was messy and tear marks and saliva. He held Gyu-hyuk's wrist, although he knew it was too late. His wrist was still warm, but there was no pulse. Do-yoon carefully lifted Gyu-hyuk's body up, laid it down on the floor, and collapsed next to it. He could only think of one word. Why? Do-yoon found something sticking out of Gyu-hyuk's jacket pocket. It was Gyu-hyuk's handwriting. His suicide note. Do-yoon dropped his hand feebly.
날 믿는다고?
You trust me? Sorrowful moaning oozed out of his mouth. Do-yoon grabbed the note, crumpling it.
형, 이걸 감당하란 말이야?
You Hyuk, how am I supposed to handle this?
나는
Hi.
내 선택은
My choices. The others who had just arrived were dumbstruck at the sight.
규혁아,
Oh my god, you Hyuk, what happened?
한도윤. 지금 네 얘기를 믿으라고?
Do-yoon, you want me to believe that?
남길
why?
말이 없다는 게 말이 돼?
He didn't even leave any last words?
아무것도 없이 저랬을 리가 없어.
He wouldn't have killed himself without leaving a note. Do-yoon slowly shook his head.
남긴 건 없었어. 아무것도.
I do gotta wonder why he's lying about this. There was nothing he left behind. Do-yoon had been thinking he had managed to hold himself together as well as everyone else. He had forgotten that he hadn't included Yoo Hyuk in his list. Do-yoon shook his head. He was feeling dazed. He couldn't convey. Last request. Do-yoon turned his gaze away from the others who were doubting, screaming, and crying. Or pieces of paper lying around on the ground. They were the torn pieces of Yoo Hyuk's suicide note. Oh, he tore that shit up. The grief and shock slowly died down. Nobody spoke. No more strength to raise any more doubts, to reason, or to lash out at one another.
소리
The noise.
점점 더 커지고 있어.
It's getting louder.
진동도 그래.
The ground is shaking too. Are they almost
거의 다
here?
온 거.
Look up. Up there.
한도희 씨, 들리세요? 다른 분들 다 연락이 안 됩니다. 대답해 보세요.
Mr. Han, can you hear me? I can't contact the others right now. Please answer me.
방금 무대에 진입했습니다.
We just arrived at the stage.
생존자분들,
Please gather to the stage.
진입로 주변은 위험합니다.
It's
주위에서
dangerous near our entry path. Please be careful while you wait.
도희 씨, 들리세요?
Mr. Han, can you hear me? How's the situation down there?
한도희 씨,
Mr. Han.
전부
Everyone is on the
무대에 모여
stage.
있습니다. 한도윤, 오이나, 민주영, 장세일, 서혜성 5명입니다.
Do-yoon Han, In Ha-oh, Ju-young-min, Seil Chang, and Hye-sung-sa. There are 5 of us.
서혜성은 부상 상태가 심각합니다.
Hye-sung-sa is seriously injured.
그리고 추가 사망자가 있습니다.
And we have another person dead.
이규혁,
Yoo Hyuk Lee.
출연자 이규혁이
Yoo Hyuk Lee, one of the contestants, couldn't bear
불안을
the
이기지
stress.
못하고 스스로 목숨을 끊은 것 같습니다.
He seems to have taken his own life. One month later, Do-yoon stood by the long corridor. Late afternoon sunlight shined through the window. His head cleared and the stiff muscles seemed to ease up a bit. Phew. He watched as the clouds float by slowly. A month had passed since the accident. Buried Stars, the survival audition show was to be continued. The stage collapse casualties, suicide, disciplinary actions against the officials, and investigation. The unprecedented Bedlam put the program at the center of national attention. Gyu-hyuk's suicide. The investigation team concluded he had taken his own life because he couldn't endure the sense of oppression. The unfortunate story of Sung Yun-shin was presented as the tragedy of a genius producer. WBS didn't miss its golden opportunity. WBS declared the continuation of the show to keep the dream alive for the deceased contestants. The viewers responded ardently.
싹 다 범죄자 취급당하고 싶어? 서희성은 사고로 가야지. 어렵지 않잖아.
Do you want to be treated as criminals? Hyesung-seo simply had an accident. This should be the conclusion, right? It was announced that Hyesung's injury was from the accident.
산통 다 깨고 무사할 수 있을 것 같아?
Do you think you'll be okay playing a black sheep alone? Are you going to get everyone else in trouble just to save face? Do-yoon decided not to join the show. He could no longer participate in the show. More importantly, he didn't want to. The protection measure and interrogation also ended by that time. A month had passed since the rescue. He could finally walk the corridor by himself without any help. Ji-young decided to join the 5th season of Buried Stars. The crowd applauded her for showing such courage despite the tragic accident. It seemed that the rumors have already died out and her old footage was no longer the subject of mockery. One day, Do-yoon saw Ji-young on TV.
전 포기하지 않아요. 끝까지 해보겠습니다.
I will not give up. I'm going all the way. Unlike before, Ji-young expressed her strong conviction throughout the entire interview. She was also doing extremely well in opinion polls. Way to go, Ji-young.
힘내요.
Do-yoon muttered to himself unknowingly. People didn't know her. She was the one with true inner strength. Whatever had happened, she wouldn't give up due to hardship or humiliation. Oop, Ji-young core. Do-yoon prayed for Ji-young to achieve her dreams. Ina decided to drop out of the audition after getting out of the hospital because she wanted to get some rest in a quiet environment. The media tailed her for some time, trying to find anything interesting for media coverage. With no more provocative editing, Inha was just a lively, ordinary person. The public soon lost its interest in Inha, who was no longer a troublemaker.
실망했어요? 근데 어떡해? 이게 난데.
You must be disappointed, but what can I do? This is the real me.
이젠 좀 아셨을 거예요.
You should know better by now.
베스타가 건 마법은
The magic cast on me by
풀렸어요.
Beastars is all gone now.
이젠 절 여러분의
It's time to let
관심에서
me go,
지울
guys.
시간이에요.
People talked a lot about our last interview. But over time, even that interview was soon forgotten from people's memory. She was spotted several times studying somewhere, but even those news came up less frequently after some time. Just like that, Inha was eventually forgotten by the public. Do-yoon thought about Inha sometimes. Is she doing okay? Definitely. It's Inha. Oh. He looked out the window and nodded. Will they ever see her again? Do-yoon quietly pictured that day in his head. Gyu-hyuk's relatives shunned his funeral. The survivors, including Do-yoon, couldn't attend the funeral either because the people worried that the dead might get confused. Do-yoon just heard it was bedlam at the funeral thanks to some uninvited guests, his fans and reporters. After the funeral, Gyu-hyuk's paternal family made a brief comment that he was so much like his father until the last moment. Some refused to believe that he had taken his own life. They blamed the survivors for concealing the truth. Do-yoon had kept his mouth shut all along. Every time he tried to reveal the truth, he thought of Gyu-hyuk. He remembered his suicide note. He remembered his request. Gyu-hyuk, I can't fulfill your request. He remembered his face silently looking in the distance. His handsome face and lonely eyes. Do-yoon admired his graceful appearance. That's why he decided not to keep Gyu-hyuk's note. Do-yoon could only retreat again. After finishing his therapy, Sale didn't leave his house. He never responded despite people's interests. He went to visit Do-yoon once most people had lost interest in them.
세일아, 오랜만이네.
Sale, it's been a while, huh? Ever since that incident.
도윤이 형,
Do-yoon. Sale called out Do-yoon's name. His face was pale.
저 경찰에 다 말했어요.
I told the police everything.
분장실에서
The
한
things
얘기?
you told me in the dressing room.
그래요. 자수했어요.
Yes, I confessed to the
피디님하고
background checks
뒷조사한
that
거,
Sung-yeon ordered,
협박장 보낸 것까지
the blackmail I sent to her. Sale lowered his head. It wasn't easy for him to admit the truth which had been exposed at the collapse site. But he voluntarily confessed his own misdeeds.
끝까지 용기를.
You were brave till the end.
어땠어?
What was the response? His pale face was facing Do Yoon.
그냥
Nothing. They just
넘겨버렸어요.
let it slide. Oh my god. Do Yoon fell silent for a moment. Sale spoke again. He was trembling a bit.
잘못을 저질렀으니
I
벌을 달라고
asked them to
했는데
punish me for my mistake, but
그랬는데 직접 피해가 없으니까 가보라는 말뿐이었어요.
they just told me to go back since there weren't any real victims. Sale.
거기서 형한테 말하고 나니까
After I had
입 밖에
told you
내고
about this, I
나니까
began to realize that those were
계속
all wrong
잘못했단
doings.
생각이 들었어요. 떨쳐내보려고 잊어보려고 해도 떼어내질 못했어요.
I tried to shake it off, but I couldn't.
겨우 용기를 내서 간 건데
It took me so much courage to go there.
그랬는데 아무도 들어주지 않으면
But they simply ignored my confession and no
처벌하지
punishment, nothing.
나는
What should I do then?
어떻게 해야 돼요?
No. He decided to confess after suffering uncontrollable agony, but nobody listened to him and there was no punishment. Although he hoped he could free his guilty mind and move on, he just couldn't. His vain confession that fell on deaf ears broke his heart. And Sailcore. It was... Do Yoon couldn't continue. Sale's quivering eyes weren't looking at something in the distance. A few days later, Sale confessed his misdeeds to the public on Fatter. Hyesung regained consciousness after some treatment, but instead of revealing the attacker, he went along with WBS's explanation that he was hurt in the course of the accident. He was having trouble finding an agency after giving up on the audition. The buzz on Fatter was just an internet thing. Feeling down, Hyesung often came to visit Do Yoon.
참 오래도 입원한다.
You've been staying at the hospital for too long.
늙어서 관절이 잘 안
Do
붙어.
your bones have a hard time recovering because of your old age?
나 아직 20대야.
I'm still in my 20s.
그럼 엄살이 너무 심한 건가?
Are you a crybaby then?
너야말로 왜 이렇게
Why
자주
are you
오는데?
visiting me so often?
헐, 내 맘이지.
I can do whatever
시간
I
비싸.
want. I'm quite a busy person.
한가해서 오는 거 아니거든?
I'm not coming here because I have nothing else to do.
배신자 어쩌고 해.
Aren't you going to argue with people who
생각은
call you a
아예 없는
betrayer?
거야?
Hyesung grinned after briefly glancing at Do Yoon.
말해봐야 안 먹힌다.
I guess it
그런
won't
건가?
change anything, huh? I
이해는
understand,
해.
bro.
진심? 까라고 그래.
Truth, my
보이는 게 제일
ass.
중요하지.
People are not interested in hearing the truth.
그러니까 WBS도 이래라 저래라 사람 찌그러뜨려 놓는 거고
That's why WBS can present their contestants in any way they want.
오해받는 사람들끼리라도 잘 지내야지. 그렇잖아.
We should get along since we are both misunderstood, right? The reason he continued to visit Do Yoon was because he was in the same shoes as Do Yoon, as someone misunderstood by the public.
그럼 이제 네 비싼 시간 찾아서 가봐.
You should go now since you're so busy.
너무 쌀쌀한데?
Wow, you're quite apathetic.
난 완전
I
오픈 마인드로
opened-
내 얘기도 다 까줬는데
I opened up to you.
하나 더 풀어줘야 되나?
Should I tell you another secret?
하나
Another one.
형도 알지?
You know that WBS is
WBS가 나
ditching.
팽하는 거 소속사도 못 잡고 폭행 얘기만 내니까
Since
아주
they
죽을 맛이야.
never stop talking about school violence, I have a hard time finding an agency.
내 쪽에서도 폭탄 하나 터뜨려야 될 것 같아.
I'd like to show my gratitude to them by dropping a bomb.
폭탄이라니.
What bomb?
선비정신 보이다가 또 이런 거엔 관심 못
Oh,
줘요.
now you're interested. You're acting so piously until a second ago.
주목받을 만한
Something that would
얘기,
put me at the center of attention that would cause
만한
huge
거.
issues.
피눈물 날 사람은 벌써 저 세상에 있으니까 괜찮겠지.
The affected persons are already dead, so I guess they wouldn't mind my business.
너
Oh man. Are you gonna...
설쳐야 뜨는 거
In
잘
order to get some
아니까
attention, I have to
제대로
shake things up.
설쳐야겠다는 거야.
혜성아.
도윤이 형,
He was staring straight into Do Yoon's eyes, as if he was trying to read his mind or the expression on his face. He couldn't read his eyes.
형도 뭔가 알지?
You know something too, right?
그렇지만
But it's too
늦었어.
late. I've already made calls. the low ringing in his ears. Do-yoon frowned. Do-yoon shook his head to clear out the memories. He frowned at the dazzling sunshine. Something glimmered across his squinted eyes. Something whitish. It was a piece of paper that Do-yoon had ripped apart. What was written there? He blinked his eyes. The glimmer silhouette disappeared into thin air.
서바이벌 오디션.
The survival audition. In the audition that we call our lives, we were all just participants. The audition where you had to be the last man standing. Dropouts were only to be forgotten quietly. Do-yoon, who wasn't even an eliminated contestant, but just a loser, was wondering where he should stand. The sunlight oozed through the clouds, and Do-yoon closed his eyes again. He could hear breaking news from the TV in a nearby room. Do-yoon closed his eyes, covered his ears, and shut his mouth, struggling to put a halt to all his thoughts. The light fell down on him as if to scold him. Alright, so that was B-Route. The best endings from B-Route anyway. I'm going to do a little cleanup in the next episode to get the other B-Route endings. Namely, what happens if we don't necessarily trigger Hyesung's and Sale's report events the way we did here. And we are now despairs for having seen the B-Route. Anyways, thank you for watching. This has been Teo Tamara. Have a good one. Bye now.